Turn up this mic thing.
Because
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede. We have some of the best side-by-side high-flying short course action with huge jumps, big turns, some rock gardens, and everything that is Ultra 4 USA racing at its finest. I am Miles Haswis alongside Mrs. Pam Hall, and we are about to get qualifying started. Pam, it's been a great time getting everything set up. We've done a lot of work getting everything set up for the NORCAL Stampede with Ultra 4 USA, and now we are getting ready to show everybody what we got.
yes, we are. And this morning they were out there. They were testing their cars, getting used to the track. But here we are. It's quite warm out here.
It is hot. It's not warm. It's hot. There is a little bit of a breeze, but we're going to fight dust issues this weekend. They've got 4 water trucks going out there, and Goodby and Bird and the entire NORCAL team's doing a great job. We got a huge amount of volunteers out on course. It's going to be an amazing weekend, but it is hot and dry.
Yes, it is. We've been telling everybody to make sure they stay hydrated, but right now we're just getting them lined up here in just a moment to go out for their qualifying. It's going to be, like you just said, Miles, an exciting day of qualifying out here at the NORCAL Stampede. I'm super excited to be back here.
Yeah, it's the Stampede, what Matt and the METALCLOAK bring to the table is absolutely amazing. So a huge shout out to METALCLOAK and their entire team. The Stampede was my first regional race I've ever been to back in 2017, and I haven't missed but a couple since. And yeah, the Stampede's always fun. You can see 80% of the track here, super spectator friendly. So if you're anywhere in the Sacramento area, come on out. We still have a lot of tickets for sale. They're $30 a day or $50 for the weekend. Kids 12 and under are free. So come on out. This is Ultra 4 USA, and we're going to debut what we can do.
Yes, we are. We have quite a lineup out here this weekend as well. And we are going to be starting off here, though, with our first class that will be qualifying is our UTV stock class.
Yeah, we have 4 competitors in that one. It's Trent Roberts, Rob Reno, John Bonanno, and Travis Zollinger. So we should have 4 in this first 4,900 stock class, and then we are going to try to qualify within class. We will have a few late qualifiers that had some issues. They're still working on our cars, so I do know we will have a couple late qualifiers, but we are going to try to stay within class. So we'll start off with UTV stock, 4,500 modified, UTV open, 4,600 stock, UTV Pro Mod, Youth 1K. We'll do the 170s, 4,800, and then the big dogs, 4,400. So there is your qualifying lineup.
And in our 4,400s, we have 19 vehicles that will be taking the green flag.
It's going to be a great show, yeah. And again, thank you for everybody for tuning in. I know this year's been a little bit of growing pains once again, but we're doing our best. And Take It Live is here on site, bringing you the best action we can have. We got a couple drones. We got 3 cameras out on course. This should make for some great footage.
Yes, it will. And we can see that they are lined up over there at our staging area. Going to be taking that green flag here in just a little bit.
This track is 1.5 miles. They will go out one at a time. Once they clear the PCI gunite rock section out back, we will send out the second car. So that should make a clean track for everybody. And this sets up everybody's for tomorrow's prelims. So it's very important because remember, usually we race endurance races where it's an adjusted time finish, but this is obviously short course, so it's physical finish. So starting up front gives you a huge advantage.
And it also gives them a lot of seat time, getting to go out multiple times, not just going out qualifying and then just for their race. So it's awesome to go out there, get all of the seat time that they've had, going out for practice earlier, qualifying today, and racing tomorrow with the prelims. So lots of seat time for our drivers.
It's going to be great, yeah. Lots of great teams out here having some fun. We were able to, speaking about teams having fun, we were able to go to the Apex Nighthawk go-karts last night and had a lot of fun out there. It was so cool just getting everybody together and having the camaraderie and, racing go-karts. They were golfing and doing all the things. So it was a lot of fun. So hopefully we can make that bigger and better for next year.
Well, and Miles, I know you had a lot of fun. You actually was out there with a lot of our big names, and you got first place.
In one of my heats, it was a lot of fun. It was fun talking a little smack to everybody and, having some fun and getting some seat time, and it was a great time. So anybody in the area, go check out Apex at the Red Hawk.
Red Hawk, yeah, that was a really cool place. Yes. But, that was a lot of fun, and watching all of you guys go. I went out on track. Didn't have such a successful race myself, but it was still a lot of fun.
All smiles and all having a great time. So again, huge shout out to everybody who makes this possible. All of our volunteers, the Ultra 4 and NORCAL staff, the media, safety, USAC, racers, fans, and all of our marketing partners. Speaking of, we have to give a huge shout out to METALCLOAK, Brannick Motorsports, PCI Race Radios, and NORCAL Rock Racing. So if you see any of those, go over and tell them thanks for making Ultra 4 USA what it is today. USAC is our sanctioning body, running timing and scoring.
And you can see the water trucks going right there on screen. They've been watering away, trying to get this track to a less dusty conditions, but as hot as it is out here, the water is just going away just as fast as they're putting it down for the most part. But we're going to do our best to stay on top of the track, because that's what the only thing that I heard from any of the drivers was the dust during the practice runs.
And they get it too. I mean, they're just saying it. But we got 4 water trucks out here. It's 95 degrees in Northern California, just outside of Sacramento. But it's absolutely gorgeous, and I can't think of a better place to be. There's a great shot of one of our water trucks making it happen.
So, Miles, did you do a loop around the track yet?
Not a full loop, no. I've seen bits and pieces. I've been busy doing a little bit of everything this weekend. But out back on the finger, they call it, we have a great big turn. It has some offset rhythm sections, like, some whoops per se. And there's 2 lanes, and they're kind of offset. So that'll be interesting out back. And then we go up towards... Well, let's start at start-finish. Let's start
finish, because my understanding they're going directly into rocks.
Yeah, well, it's a rock. It's the METALCLOAK gap jump.
Yes.
So at the start-finish, we'll go there and then head towards the finger, hit those rhythm sections, and then do the Gomez jump, and then the PCI gunite section, and then kind of turn around, come on through the Brannick boulders, and then do a couple more turns around the Kings section, and then right through Monster Alley and Big Talladega to the METALCLOAK start-finish, a 1.5-mile loop.
So the Gomez jump, is that the same as the Gomez tree?
That's what I call it, yeah.
Okay.
And that's just because every Gomez has had an issue in that area, is what I've been told. But all 3 Gomez's are here. All the brothers are here having fun. I've heard them laughing all weekend, and they're excited to be here. Speaking about Gomez, JP Gomez, our current King of the Hammers champion, alongside his brother, 2-time King Raul, and then Marcos is knocking on the door. We have 3-time King Shannon Campbell and 2-time King Lauren Healy. So we got some rock royalty in the house this weekend. Going to make for some amazing racing.
Yes, it is. So hopefully you guys stay tuned in tomorrow as well, because it's, like you just said, amazing racing. I'm super stoked to see it all happen up here at this NORCAL. This is actually, we've gone to a couple other short course races, and this is my favorite short course race that I see our racers race on. It's such a great track. They have so many different things out here between the whoops, the jumps, the trees, the rocks, the gap jump right there that they created for this race this weekend. That right there, last time I saw it, it was quite wide, and I heard they did a little bit more work on it.
Yeah, they did a great job out there. I do see one of our cars starting to move a little bit, I believe. I believe that's Rob Reno getting ready to take out. I do see Travis Zollinger, Trent Roberts, and John Bamano. They are all part of the stock class. We'll kind of run through exactly what a stock car is. Basically, you have to have an OEM chassis, must use stock suspension pickup points, reinforcing is allowed, 33-inch tires, and a maximum of a 1,000cc engine. But while we wait for the action to kick off, we have a highlight from here at the METALCLOAK Stampede from 2019, so check it out. And we are live qualifying for the 2024 NORCAL Stampede here at the Prairie City SDRA in Rancho Cordova, California. Robert Reno is out on course, our first qualifier for the METALCLOAK Stampede. It is a 1.5-mile course, lots of great sections out here, big turns, we have some whoops, huge jumps, lots of rock sections, and some high-flying fun. Pam, this is going to be a great show.
Yes, it is. And right now out on course, we can't see him right now where he's at. He is up in that finger section that you were talking about earlier on. But Robert Reno out there on his qualifying loop in the number 4290. And here he is back on screen going back towards the other side of the track directly across from us by the Gomez jump. Is that what you're calling that area?
Yep, that's the Gomez jump. So Rob Reno, number 4290 out of Fort Bragg, California, with Rob Reno Racing in the stock class and his Can-Am X3 with Optima batteries. Method, rugged, street, track, and trail. His first King of the Hammers was this year, 2024. And he is back here for the Stampede. So after he clears the PCI Gunite section, I believe we'll be sending out our next vehicle.
What's really cool is I'm going down in that area. It goes down into a dip and then a test area coming up, but they will be sending, like you said, out the next driver here in just a moment. But Rob Reno out on course right now. He is running, if you see on the clicker, at a 126 so far, and he does have those red numbers on his car. King of the Hammers this year, that meant that they were a rookie as well.
Good catch, thank you. And I was mistaken. They aren't sending the next car until they clear the Brannick boulders, which they are entering right now. So up next is the 4911 of Trent Roberts out of Clarksburg, California, with TWC Racing in his Can-Am with Vision Wheels, Mickey Thompson, Factory UTV, KWI Clutching, Hen Racing, and Warren Factor 55. His first time racing with us was a KOH 24 as well. He did race Ultra 4 USA back in 2021 at San Felipe. So we have Trent Roberts and Rob Reno out on course.
And Rob Reno, while you were going through the sponsors, Rob Reno was going through our other rock section. Now this is the second one or the last one he'll be going through before he comes through the finish line.
So we should get a time for Rob Reno here shortly. So it'll be about a 2:30 or so. I suspect. What's your guess? I'm going to say
and he bicycled. That was a nice save by Rob Reno.
I'm going to say a 2-minute flat is going to be the fast time of the day, Pam.
Oh, that's I don't know. He was at a 2:32 and he was taking it kind of easy. It looked like there just a little bit because obviously we know you don't win the race in qualifying or the first turn. So a 2:32 for Rob Reno, and 2-minute flat. I'm gonna go for like a 152.
Well, we'll see how it all shakes out. And now we're still on Trent Roberts out on course as he's heading down the course out here, having some fun, getting everything kicking off. Lots of great action is going to be happening today. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the 2024 NORCAL METALCLOAK Stampede with Ultra 4 USA Racing at its finest.
And here he's going right now through that boulder section that I was talking about, the first one. But now we do have on course the 805 of John Babamo.
Out of Santa Rosa, California, with Bonanno Motorsports, with Can-Am, BFG, Method, and Fox. And we are right there in the Brannick boulders as he's clearing that. He'll be heading through King Corner.
So, Miles, it was very interesting to be talking to the drivers and strategy about going into hot pits because they talk about how many flat tires that the racers actually get out here racing at NORCAL, because those rocks, they are not smooth whatsoever.
But if you have to pull in the hot pits during a short course, that's bad news. But I remember it was a couple years ago, Waylon Campbell pulled into the pits and still salvaged third position. So hot pits is very, very important.
And what you just said, that goes back to whenever I was talking to the drivers, they were talking about, what if everybody ends up with a flat tire, which, it's a game you got to play.
Anything could happen.
All right, so let's see. Trent Roberts coming through with a 2:38.130.
So 6 seconds off of Rob Reno.
And here we have Trent Roberts that is going down that back section.
Nope, that's John Bonanno.
Oh, John Bonanno.
Yep, Trent Roberts just finished. So John is out back.
Oh, look at him.
Oh, look at that. Getting a little hang time there.
I think he's going to be in the 220 mark. because he's been on it. I was watching him go through the Gomez tree area, and he was pushing his luck on it.
And off the line next is Travis Zollinger, Mr. Zollinger Racing Products himself, out of Logan, Utah, with his Can-Am Maverick R. He'll be racing in this and the Pro Mod class with Zollinger Racing Products, FK, Fox, K&T Performance, BFG Tires, Logan Coach, Sparco, Warren Hyperco, Baja Designs, and Run BC. He's been racing with us for quite some time. Back in 2017, he's won the Western and National Championship. He's won the Mint. He's done the UTV Worlds. He's won in Crandon. Travis Zollinger with ZRP is definitely one to watch.
And whenever you were talking, Miles, that Travis Zollinger jumped so far over that gap jump, I could not believe how hard he just jumped.
During practice, I was watching that. I think you really have to pay attention for that gap jump, because if you overjump it, it could really set you up for a bad time. And Pam, you're 222 for John's going to be a great guess. Yeah, you're a second off or so.
Wow, 232. Yeah. That was a pretty good guess for sure. But yeah, we're going to see Travis Zollinger, though. He's been out there pushing it as well. As you can see him coming into screen here. He'll be going down, making this right-hand turn, and then he'll go into a left-hand turn into the rock section here in just a moment.
And then up next will be our 4,500 modified class after we wrap up Travis Zollinger. And talking about Zollinger Racing Products, what a better place to test the ZRP products than King of the Hammers and Ultra 4 USA. He races a little bit of everything, but man, it's great to see him out here racing in so many different disciplines. He's racing every single UTV class we have today, except for the youth stuff. But Travis is out there pushing strong. He's hitting the King corner, and he is really letting it eat. I was talking to him about that new Maverick R. That Can-Am is a beautiful work of art, and he said he's only got about 100 miles of seat time. This is the first time this car's ever been in a race, so the seat time is basically just out on the trails. He pre-ran King of the Hammers.
I think he's going to be pushing John's time here in just a moment. But
by 10 seconds.
By 10 seconds, exactly. So let's talk about the Mav R. There's a lot of drivers that say it's not a short course style car because of the way that the articulation is on the front suspension of that. But, I mean, he just proved right there with a 210.
I take a differ on that. Fastest time of the day so far is 2:10 with Travis Zollinger.
Great run by Travis Zollinger. Great looking car as well, and I know you probably already talked about it. I stepped away for just 1 second, but Travis Zollinger also ZRP, and he builds the components for his car. So we always say this, what a way to test out your race vehicles and the products that you build, and then to put them right on your race car. So great product testing by him, and a lot of our racers do run his products as well.
So up next is the 4,500 modified class. Looks like we should have about 6 racers entering that one.
I don't know if we are going to have John Rance out there, but I do see him pulling up. He did a
well, that was John Rance. This is Sean Rance. So John Rance was the Bronco. Oh, we got the name mixed up on
there. That's why I just did that whole little.
Sean Rance races the 45.
Yes.
John Rance in the 4600 Bronco took a little tumble. Not quite sure if he was able to get that going. I walked through the pits. They're actively working on it.
And I was speaking with John at the drivers' meeting, and he said that what they're doing is they're taking his car over, or his Bronco, to somebody's shop. They're going to get it all fixed up tonight, so he'll be back out tomorrow.
So he's going to miss qualifying.
Correct.
And just take a rear start. That's fine. And did you ask him? I didn't know what happened. Was it here at the gap jump?
I did not ask him. My major concern was more about how John was actually doing. So he ended up saying he was good and everything. But here we do have at the green flag taking off.
That is Jesse Balter out of Forestville, California, with Balter Built Racing in that 1953 Willys pickup that he built home in his garage. He's got an LQ4 with Nitrous Express, 700 horsepower, an AG Turbo 400, Behemoth T-Case, Yukon, Brannick, Rough Stuff, Mickey Thompson, Raceline, Factor 55, Warren, Rugged, South Bay, Drivelines, L-Rod Performance Straps. His first King of the Hammer, or his first Ultra 4 race was in Reno back in 2016. So look at that, the rhythm section out back. He just really blew through that with that 700 horsepower. Great little roller section here. And then we're heading back towards the Gomez tree jump. A great little kicker. And here it is. And this one sometimes can send it a little sideways, and you saw it get a little bit off pace there, but he kept her under control and really moving strong. And we had talked about mixing the 45 and the 46 during race day. I have not heard confirmation on that. We'll have to get an official car count that we were waiting on. So we'll see how that plays out tomorrow, if they get their own race or not. As Jesse Balter is really pushing strong. He has made it down the PCI Gunite and heading towards the Brannick Boulders. Do another hairpin 180 right. And off the line next is Justin Hall out of Morganville, California with Rock Hard Racing. I believe this is the last season in that chassis. It's a Samurai single seat with a Grom Racing 414 stroker, 700 horsepower, JR's 4L80E, SCST case, Falcon tires, 13 fab, Rough Stuff, Dirty Life race wheels, Total Racing Solutions, Yukon, Driving Racing Oils, and South Bay Driveline. His first King of the Hammers was 2014. He's been a NORCAL Series Championship more than once. He's raced over in Japan and Australia.
Oh.
And
so sorry.
Balter's on it, huh?
Yeah, he came out of that rock section just now and just gassed it at the end and just kind of jumped out of the rocks. It was such a cool little show he just put on with this, but he just came through with a 2:14.104. So 2:14. I said 2:10, didn't I? What did I say? Did you write it down?
You said
I said
2 minutes. So you were, yeah, there you go.
1:52.
So we still have some time to make up, but we still have some faster cars yet to come as we see Justin Hall heading down the PCI Gunite section.
And he knows this track very well. You were just mentioning him about being a champion out here and everything. So home track for Justin Hall.
On this 1.5-mile qualifier, and since this is a short course, you do have to have a spotter in the spotter stands, not for qualifying, but for tomorrow's big race.
All right, and here we have Justin Hall finishing up his qualifying run here in just a moment, and we do have Dan Wyrick just took the green flag with a nice jump over, but here's Justin Hall going through the last bit of the rock section here. Well, he has one more rock section to go through, actually.
So Dan Wyrick, number 218, in memory of his son, out of Santa Rosa, California, with DW Racing in that brand new UFO Toyota Tacoma with an LS7, 600 horsepower, ATO Turbo 400, Atlas, Spider Tracks, Tubergs, Toyo, Raceline, King, OMP, Proper Tuning, Rugged, Off-Road Patriot, FK, Brannick, Warren, PRP, DW Acoustics, and MPI. His first Ultra 4 race was Reno back in 2015 and got first place in this car in Kentucky this year. As we get a time for Justin Hall.
A great run by Justin Hall at a 2:18.803, but that is 4 seconds slower than Jesse.
Not bad. That's a great solid run by both of those competitors.
Especially he was on it. I mean, he was drifting those corners. He was not really letting up too much in the rock section. But here we do have Dan Wyrick on course going down in that gunite section on the back side of the track.
And don't forget, we do have our Ultra 4 merchandise trailer on site, so go check out Roxy and buy all the things. I do see King down there. So lots of great vendors on site, lots of great grubs. So if you're in the stands, go check those out when you want to cool down, get a nice cold beverage or something. As Dan Wyrick heading into the Brannick Boulders.
All right, you can see how rough the rock section actually is for Dan Wyrick, as we've been talking about. It's very rough out there, hard on the tires, hard on the bodies as well, but you're trying to get for that top spot because short course racing, you know, it's a lot more difficult than that endurance racing. So here's Dan Wyrick going into that U-turn section into the last section of the rocks, which
we call that the Monster Alley.
The Monster Alley, and it's definitely a very strategic entering into the rock section right there.
Yeah, I saw the team plucking boulders out of both of the the rock sections, trying to switch things up a little bit. And Wyrick is all over the throttle all the way to the end, and he gets a 3:01. And I believe that on course now, just taking off, is the 4532 of Steve Crawford out of Paso Robles, California, with SC Firestorm Racing with an M&S Fab chassis, stroked LS 408, 550 horsepower, Turbo 400, Atlas, Brannick, M&S Fab, Mike and Sarah Amaral, the Tire Store, and Central City Labor. His first King of the Hammers was back in 2020 and got third this year at King of the Hammers in the 4,500 modified class.
Great looking car out there for him, and Dan Wyrick.
And he's up and over. I saw it kind of little bunny hop, and Steve Crawford is on his side, so he will take a rear start on tomorrow's race. Tough break for Steve Crawford.
He was doing the U-turn into the first rock section over there is where it looks like he was at.
And did you see the suspension? It loaded and just spring flopped him.
I was watching Dan Wyrick go off of the race course as that happened, so I caught the last section of it, but not fun to do.
Tough break for him. So Steve Crawford with a DNF. We'll get our Ultra 4 USA and NORCAL safety crew out there, get him righted and get him cleared, and keep on rocking and rolling.
Yes, they are all on him right now. You can see all the safety crew over there in their bright orange vest, getting him hooked up to the recovery vehicle. And we have recovery all over the race course, so we are quick to get to the drivers when they do have an incident. And that's something that is one of the biggest things in short course as well, is having them all over, because you're pushing your limits so hard in short course in all these tight corners for these big vehicles.
And still fastest time of the day thus far is Travis Zollinger with a 2:10. So we'll see if that sticks or not.
Yeah, and that was in the stock class that he did that in.
Maverick R.
Yes. So 2:10.169. We shall see if anybody can beat that. But I'm going to hold to it, Miles. I'm going to hold to my 152.
Yeah, we'll see. That's very, very possible.
Especially when we get up to the bigger cars.
And we're going to flip it back and see a replay to see exactly what just happened to Steve Crawford as he comes through. You see the suspension kind of load up and just kind of do one of those snap flips. Yeah, he was in it until he wasn't.
It almost looked like he kind of caught a rut pretty good right there in that driver rear, and that's when it loaded up and flipped him right on over.
That's definitely part of the situation. But you see, that's how amazing these cars are built. They could take a beating and keep on ticking. So I'm sure that car's A-OK. They'll get it back to the pits. They've got all night to check it out. But all he has to worry about right now is a little bit of pride, because everybody just saw he took a tumble. But again, Steve Crawford, great sportsmanship. He'll get back there, get the car figured out, and be back in action.
I mean, it looks good right there on screen. It doesn't look like there's any issues to it, but the way he hit and with that suspension, you have to make sure you might not have anything wrong in body work, but shock-wise and everything else. And here we do have taking the green flag. We just saw Sean Rance taking off on his qualifying loop. You can see him going over that gap jump right there with a nice little hop over it.
Sean Rance out of Farmington, New Mexico with Mud Nut Racing in that 1976 Ford Bronco that he's been racing Ultra 4 for probably about 10 years now. And that Jesse Haynes fabrication chassis with a Richard Performance 455 Ford small block, 700 horsepower, ATI Turbo 400, Hero T-Case, Rough Stuff Mega High 9s, Milestar tires, Raceline wheels, RPM Automotive, Super Winch, Ford Performance, and Ballistic Fab. His first King of the Hammers race was 2012. He was the Western Series champion 21 and 22. And he's been on the podium multiple times, and he's been running that Bronco, like I said, for a very long time. He's taken quite a few big tumbles in it, but they always get it rebuilt, and absolutely loving it as he sends it over the Gomez tree jump. That guy was all over it. He sent it so far, he landed all on the front tires, but able to keep it under control as he heads down the PCI Gunite section. Well, Pam, this has been a great day thus far for the Ultra 4 USA NorCal Stampede, presented by METALCLOAK. We're here at the Prairie City SVRA, just outside of Rancho Cordova, about an hour outside of Sacramento, as Sean Rance is on a mission.
And you guys at home that are watching it, it's just we have to change the name in our system. So that is Sean for sure out there on course, because he is the one that is racing in this class. But here we do have now taking the green flag is the 1950 of Logan Goodall.
Out of Phoenix, Arizona with Goodall Racing in that Stearns chassis with that Ford Bronco clip. He's got a Klein LS7, Zero Gravity 4L80E. Stacked T-Case, Dirty Life race wheels, Mickey Thompson tires, and Warren. He started racing Ultra 4 in the UTV class, and he stepped up to the 4800 following his dad's Kenneth Goodall's footsteps. I assume we'll eventually see him in 4400 as well, as Sean Rance making it through the Monster Alley.
Oh, my goodness.
And look at those rocks. That's such a great shot. As you can see that Bronco bouncing all over the course. It's a bit of time for Sean Rance here very shortly.
Making his way around that last turn with a flat right tire.
Front. I just saw it, yeah. So he was able to blast through, but that Monster Alley cost him a right front flat. At least qualifying was almost over. So Sean Rance with we'll get a time for him here shortly.
But yes, Sean Rance just finishing up his qualifying, and we're now back at Logan Goodall, making his way down the back gunite section over there very shortly. That
car's been racing Ultra 4 for quite some time. Kevin Stearns had it for a while and then passed it on to the Goodalls, and they've had great success with it. And speaking about Goodalls, we get to see Ken Goodall race that brand new Campbell chassis that he debuted at King of the Hammers, but the new car blues bit him. So they've revamped it, got everything going. So I'm excited to see Ken Goodall race later on today and this weekend in that Campbell 2-seat IFS machine. Basically a twin to Shannon's new car.
That was a great view of that first rock section that they have to go through. They started off in rocks. They have a little bit of a flat area, and then they go down into the second part of the Brannick boulders. And there we do see Logan taking that a little bit wider, and he actually looks like he took the farther right-hand side where everybody else has been going right. So it's all, see the little hop out?
Jumping it out there, I like that.
It's exactly what Jesse did earlier on.
So G6 Logan Goodall having a great run under his belt. We'll get a time for him very shortly.
All right, so Jesse Balter so far has started with the fastest time of the qualifying for our 4,500 class. And there's Logan Goodall going off of course, finishing up. Next up, we will have another UTV class that will be going out for their qualifying. We will have the UTV Open coming up here in just a moment. And in our UTV Open class, we will have 5 racers in that class. Travis Zollinger will be coming back into race again. He has actually entered into every single one of our UTV classes out here this weekend. So we're going to do a little bit of a reset here for just a moment, and then we'll be starting here in just a moment with our UTV Open class. All right, so next up, like we were just saying, the NORCAL Stampede, powered by METALCLOAK, are qualifying for our 4,900 UTV Open class will be coming up here in just a moment. Again, we do have 5 racers that should be taking the green flag for their qualifying run today. It looks like it was awesome to see in registration yesterday and seeing his name again on the list is Mark Welch. He hasn't raced with us for just a little bit, and he's back out here with us. He'll be out here qualifying as well.
I was talking to Mark, or I hit up most of the racers before the race and just ask them if they're coming and if there's anything new with their program and whatnot. And I was talking to him, he's like, man, I haven't touched my car since Hammers, but you gave me a spark. So I'm going to start working on it. He did. He's able to get it, but it's a very unique looking machine. I'm glad to see him out here. And then obviously Travis Zollinger and Paul Wolf are in this class because they're in every class. But another special guest we have that's racing here is Shabs Piercy from across the pond.
Yeah.
Great to see him out here racing at the Stampede. When I saw his name pop up on the registration list, I was super excited because he's just a great part of the sport, and to show the dedication to come from that far to race with us means a lot to us. And I was chatting with him the other night in the pits, and he was so excited to be here. So just a really good thing. Shabs, glad you're here. Your whole team, awesome. And speak about that, Jack and Amy came over. They're pit crewing for Bailey Cole, and it's great to see them all the way from Australia. And Ultra 4 really reaches out to a lot of places. So
yes.
For them to come over here and enjoy Ultra 4 USA with us means a lot. So
well, and Jack and Amy are here for a little while too, because he's also racing in Vegas Arena.
Yeah,
so they're here for a couple months, getting to spend some time over here, and they're a huge part of his program.
It's his crew chief.
It's his crew chief, exactly. But they also, they race over where they're at too in Australia too. So But racing is their life. But it's awesome to see them coming here, supporting Bailey being his crew chief, and just visiting with all of us whenever we can visit with them, because they're such great people.
Oh yeah. Obviously, we have we race over in England, over in New Zealand, Australia, and everywhere in between. And Ultra 4 has a great reach. So great to see everybody tuning in all over the world. Again, this is the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede with Ultra 4 USA. We're here at the Prairie City SVRA. We're throwing down a little bit of water before we kick out the 4900 Open class. And exactly what is the Open? It's open. Dream it, build it, race it. So basically the only rule is it has to be some sort of UT, even a 2,000cc maximum engine.
All right, so Miles, let's run through our results from our 4,500 qualifying. In that number 1 position, the number 4533 of Jesse Balter with a 2:14.104.
In second place was Dan Wyrick with a 2:17.
And then the number 13 of Justin Hall with a 2:18.803.
In fourth place is Logan Goodall with a 2:19.
And then John Rance in the 4531 with a 2:27.034. And we did see Steve Crawford take that little bit of a tumble, so he will be doing the rear start.
And remember, qualifying is just your start for the prelim. Then your prelims race sets you up for the main. So obviously you want to qualify well to get up front. But I've seen it happen. You can still have a goofy qualifier or take a no qualifier. You do not have to qualify. And then come back and then see what happens.
Well, and what we call it, too, whenever a little mishap happens like we just saw out there, racing happens. It happens, and it's definitely one of those things to where, you're pushing a little bit too hard, and as we saw he did, like you were saying, the suspension bind up, it looked like he hit some kind of rut and just took him right over. So go get his car all checked up on, but we do have, again, 5 cars getting ready to take the green flag for our UTV Open.
So we're about to kick off the UTV Open. So up next is the 4600 stock class. So please start heading your way to staging. 4600 stock class is up next after the UTV Open.
All right. Here in just a moment, we're getting ready to let them start moving on out. The water truck was doing their thing and throwing some water down out on the course, but here we do have the 646 of Shab Piercy taking the green flag first out on the qualifying run. What a great landing and jump over that gap jump, and that really shows a great view of the gap of the drone just now.
And Shabs Piercy out of Powys, Great Britain with Team Synchro Racing. In that Can-Am X3 that he just bought from Corey Willis. He's with Synchro Inc., OBOR Tires, Par Homes, Swepco Lubes, Kiki Seats, and Side by Side Network of the UK. He spectated King of the Hammers in 2017, 18, and 19, but raced it in 2020.
Oh, whoa.
Way off course and still going further. So I'm going to tell him, well, if he re-enters where he left, maybe we'll let him roll.
Did you see what was going on?
I missed it.
He was in the whoop section, and it just kind of just started hopping.
Just donkey kick?
No, it wasn't even donkey kicking. It was just kind of like the whole bouncing like a ball, and it just completely got off course.
Well, I'm glad to see he got off course and got back on course. It looked like he was going to take a pretty good ride, but he made it happen.
That was a save. That was probably the best save I've seen in a long time.
So Shabs Piercy is making a great run.
We can hear a crowd out there yelling for him. He is going down that.
He's got some fans out there in the stands, so give it up for Shabs Piercy.
All right, let's see here. He's going to be making that tight hand turn where we saw the rollover earlier on, but he did a great job by making his way into the rock section. That's the first rock section of the Brannick Boulders.
And off the line next is Paul Wolf, number 1018 out of Alton, Illinois, with Wolf Racing. In his Can-Am X3 with Nitto Tires, RCV, HCR, Raceline, Alltech Motorsports, Radflow, VP Racing Fuels, Willwood, Project X, FK, Halo, JV Scale Graphics, CRP, and Rugged.
I'm sorry, Miles. You're looking down at your paper, and I'm watching the screen here, and Shabs is definitely pushing all he can, because he did the same thing almost before he made this right-hand turn into the boulders. But it looks like he might actually have if...
And remember, he's got basically 0 seat time in that car until he showed up here at Prairie City SVRA. So he's got basically 1 lap at fast pace in that car. So he's learning it, and he's going to have to learn quick.
Well, a 225 isn't bad for all the mishaps. Look at the past the driver rear. His tire looked like it was kicked out just a little too much.
Look at Paul Wolf just smooth down the PCI gunite. Paul Wolf is definitely one to be watching this weekend while he races all the UTV classes. I think Dan Wyrick's driving the 4500 car because they kind of share driving duties. But then we'll see him in the Mario Kart in the 4400 Unlimited class.
And let's talk about Paul Wolf. That man races in every single thing that he can that has an engine and has 4 wheels to it. But I mean, he came from the rock bouncer world, and here he is, out here racing every class he possibly can, but taking the green flag. We just had Mark Welch go, but we see Paul Wolf making his way through the Brannick boulders.
Mark Welch out of Folsom, California with Welch Racing in that custom-built Polaris with Maxxis tires, ZRP, and King. He's been racing with us for quite some time. He's won multiple races, a couple championships, and Mark Welch is definitely one to watch as we see Paul Wolf heading through Monster Alley as we speak, and I think this could be a new fast time. Is he going to be able to beat Zollinger? I think he's going to shave off 2 seconds off of Travis Zollinger. We'll see how it shakes out.
Yep, Travis Zollinger had that 2:10.169. Paul Wolf coming through with a 2:08.669. So there we do have Paul Wolf, our newest, fastest lap of the day so far. So 2:08.669. Great job by Paul Wolf.
Yeah, shaving 2 seconds off of Zollinger. That's pretty impressive. So I know Zollinger just saw that happen, and he'll be pushing hard as we see Mark Welch as he's making his way out the back section. And he is on the gas.
All right, now he's making that right-hand hairpin turn going into the Brannick boulders. And there we have now the 2-1-2 of Jason Susie making his green flag start.
Out of Tremonton, Idaho, racing with Zollinger Racing Products. And his Can-Am with Zollinger Racing Products. And he works at ZRP, so he builds designs and everything in between. So great to see him out here enjoying what he does. His first race with us was in Moab 2021.
All right, great view of Mark Welch out on course. He's making that right-hand turn into the Monster Alley.
Mark Welch with a great run through those rocks, and pictures never do it justice. Those rocks are big. They're loose. They were pretty burned in before this race, but they went in there with the excavator and plucked them out and really ruffled some feathers in there, and I loved it. I was talking to Jeremy last night. He's like, if I was me, I'd be mad at myself because I went in there and messed those rocks up.
All right, Mark Welch coming through with a 2:16.360, putting him right now sitting in that number 2 spot.
But the fastest thus far today is Paul Wolf. Just a moment ago with a 2:08.669. So I guess that 2 minutes, I think I'm going to be pretty close by the time the big dogs get out there. We'll see.
Well, and I'm sitting here thinking about this in my head while you were talking about that. It's, Paul races in so many different classes. I'm wondering, obviously the faster the car, the faster the time, but
unless it's go-karts.
Unless it's go-karts, yeah. He flat out said, I am not good at go-karts, and he kind of showed that a little bit last night. He got better as the night went on. But Paul Wolf, I wonder if he in his head is trying to beat his own time every single time he's out on course.
And off the line now is Travis Zollinger, number 20 out of Logan, Utah with Zollinger Racing Products in his single-seat Can-Am with ZRP, FK Rod Ends, Fox, K&T Performance, BFG Tires, Logan Coach, Sparco, Warren, Hyperco, Baja Designs, and Run BC. His first Ultra 4 race was the Nationals back in 2017. He's got multiple championships, and Zollinger's fun to watch.
And here we have Jason on the race, on the screen right there, going through Monster Alley, making his way through that last left-hand turn into get that checker flag, about probably, a 2:16-ish?
His ZRP
2:17.20
teammate with a great run there. But Paul Wolf's got about 8 seconds over Welch.
You missed that, Miles. You should have seen Travis flying through the air just now. It looked like his car kind of caught a little bit of wind and turned him just a little bit, but he was hauling the mail through the air, going down the PCI gunite section. And let's see what his time is going to be, because we all know he's trying to beat his fastest time. But if you notice right there, he is in a Can-Am, but that is a single-seat built Can-Am that he personally built it. Oh, and no, he did a bicycle.
He kissed the K-rail. But
the K-rail saved him.
But he kept her under control. Came in a little bit too hot, caught the bicycle, didn't have much run-out room, and saved her as he enters the Brannock Boulders. It's got two little sections there, as you can see. And I really like how they changed up the course this year, because there isn't a straight run into the rock. So years before, remember Reno, they'd come in there and just absolutely blast the rocks. Well, this time it's a 180 every time into it. So you can't just jump the whole thing. You have to hit some rocks and show what an Ultra 4 car can really do.
I mean, that puts your tires to the test. That puts your suspension to the test, and you as a driver to the test, because you can go out there and run your lap and be like, oh, I'm going to stay on the left-hand side, but the very next time it could possibly be changed from the other cars bouncing him around. But right now, Travis Zollinger hauling the mill through. He just came through with a 2:04.
New fastest time of the day goes to Travis Zollinger with a 2:04. What a great run. He shaved 6 seconds off of his previous best earlier on today.
So Travis Zollinger trying to beat his own time as well. He still has one more qualifying run to go. He'll be in the Pro Mod class as well.
Up next is the 4600 stock class. So after that is the UTV Pro Mod. So if you're out in the pits, UTV Pro Mod, start heading that way. It's going to be a great showing. So Travis Zollinger with a 2:04.482, new fastest time of the day.
Yes, and here we do have our first car off the line of Paul. Let me see, who is that? I think that's John Williams.
No, that's Tom Biddle.
Oh, it is Tom Biddle.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So Tom Biddle taking that green flag in the 46.53.
Out of Longmont, Colorado, with Trail Rig Racing in that 1986 Toyota pickup with the stock 22RE. Trail Gear dual T cases, Mickey Thompson tires, race line wheels, rugged radios, Sky off-road design, ADS, I-Rate 4x4 Yukon, and Filthy Motorsports. His first Ultra 4 race was King of the Hammers 2020. I believe Joe Fabrizio will be in the spotter stand shouting out for him. And look at the Toyota on leaf springs just bouncing through there. You know that's a tough run for Tom at that little section.
Yeah, I was talking about earlier how I can't remember who it was bouncing like a ball. That's exactly what it looks like for these guys in these Toyotas. And, you know, these trucks are usually the fan favorites out here as well.
I love watching them. And speaking about the 46 stock class, you have to have a stock OEM frame. Wheelbase must stay within 3 inches. You have to have a factory engine, but may be replaced with any available engine in the same make, model, and year. Factory transmission. 35-inch DOT tire. What's a DOT tire? It's a tire you can run on the interstate, so it's legal,
Department
street legal.
Transportation, yep.
Single 2.5 shock per corner, limited to 14 inches of travel. Factory-style suspension, like what we're watching here with leaf springs or coil springs, TTB. Has to have mechanical steering, and it's just a great grassroots feel. I love the stock class. And we got quite a few of them out there. I believe we have 10 4600 stock class. So that's more than the modified. It's great to see that.
Yeah, it is awesome to see that for sure out here. And Tom making his way through. He will be making that right-hand turn going through the first rock section, the Brannock Boulders. And next up, taking the green flag just now, was the 4695 of Jesse Bennett.
Out of Reno, Nevada, with JBM Racing in that 1993 Jeep Grand Cherokee with a 4.6 Golden Stroker, 280 horsepower. Pretty good for the stock class. Atlas T-Case, Mickey Thompson tires, Hutchison wheels, Baja Design, Silver State Off-Road, Nevada Automotive Test Center, and Liberty Mountain Fab. His first King of the Hammers race was 2022.
So, Miles, we were talking about how the cameras do no justice for these rock sections, and I was just thinking to myself, if we had an in-car like GoPro, that's where we would know the true test of how rough it is, of how much they're actually moving around.
But funny to say that, some of the new GoPros, the technology is so amazing that it even makes it a little smoother than it was.
I'm talking about like them bobbing around a little bit too.
Put it behind the driver's head. Yeah.
Exactly. So there we do have him making that right-hand turn into the Monster Alley.
Tom Biddle with that very seasoned old Toyota. Obviously, that one's black, but Mick Henson, another fan favorite. The tan one isn't here this weekend, but those are two of my favorite old school Toyotas that still race with us.
Well, you know he's at home watching as well.
He's already hit me up a couple times and told me he was very mad at me for him not being here. I said, hey, it's your own fault, buddy.
Well, what is the thing? We always say that we want them to have the FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Oh, he's got it, I promise.
All right, so Tom Biddle he just took the checkered flag. And we still have Jesse Bennett out there, so we'll get a time here in just a moment on Tom. But Jesse Bennett making the right-hand turn into the Brannick boulders. Again, we were talking about that's such a cool little section because he has the first part of the rocks, and then there's a little bit of a gap into the second part. Oh, Tom did not make the checkered flag yet, did he? Yes, he did.
Up next is Bailey Cole, number 13, out of Temecula, California, with Bailey Cole Racing in that 2021 Ford Bronco called Tigger with a Ford Performance Factory engine and transmission. He's got IFS with 74 weld portals with that Jegs livery. FK, Ford Performance, Fox, Maxima Oil, Optima, Spider Tracks, Yokohama, Vision, Warren, Yukon, and ARB. He's been racing with us for such a long time. Obviously, his dad is Dave Cole, the founder of King of the Hammer, so he has grown up here. I remember seeing him as a little kid out there, and to see him progress from stock class all the way up to 4,400, but really fell back in love with the stock class. He was supposed to race a 4,800 car as well, but the car just wasn't quite ready, and I was excited to see that. But he is going to be a top contender in the 4,600 stock class. That is an absolute fact. And we did get a time for Tom Biddle. It was a 3:21. So Jesse Bennett crossing the line now with a 2:49. So our new pole setter right now is Jesse Bennett with a 2:49 time to beat, and I think Bailey Cole can do that.
And there we do have Bailey Cole on the screen. Great looking Bronco.
That was flying. I was talking to him last night, and there's a little bit of discussion of that first little METALCLOAK gap jump, and Bailey's like, oh, I'm hitting the first lap in practice and see what happens. So that's what it's going to take to win, and that's what he did as he enters the Brannick boulders.
And as he was doing that right-hand turn, he did a little tri-wheeling there, but making his way through. We have a few of these newer Broncos out here racing.
We got 4 of them racing this weekend as Kaylin Myers takes off out of Paradise, California, with loving every minute of it. Racing in that little red Suzuki Samurai with a huge 1.3 engine with Holly Terminator. She's got about 65 horsepower and 50 shot of nitrous. Rough Stuff Housings, Raceline, Mickey Thompson, Flex Out Motorsports, and Beckham Fab. Her first race with us was the Stampede right here 2 years ago.
And as Bailey is making his way through Monster Alley, let's see what his time's going to be, because right now he's sitting at a 2:20, but the fastest time is a 2:49.032.
He'll be in the 2:30-ish range, so he should have it no problem.
Yeah, he definitely has that time beat almost by 10 seconds. So a 2:29.524. Actually, he has it beat by 20 seconds.
And to quote Ian Johnson, Jegs.
He says you have to say it right.
We had a lot of fun this year at KOH with old Ian, and the look of that Bronco is absolutely amazing. So Bailey Cole with that new fast time of a 2:29 as we see Kaylin Myers heading up the Gomez step up.
And next up, it looks like we do have the 25.67 of Lauren Healy that will be taking the green flag here in just a moment.
Which driver of record is Lauren Healy, but he is actually using his substitute driver of the season of his teammate Vaughn Gittin Jr. because they're all racing a lot, and Lauren is riding with his son Tyson. He's like, I've just got enough going on that I might as well let Vaughn. They like sharing everything they got, So I just thought that was cool that he'd rather enjoy racing with his son in the Youth 1000 and let Vaughn take the Bronco out.
And here we do have him taking the green flag here in a moment, but we do have Kaylin Myers still on the screen, making that right-hand turn into the Brannick boulders.
So Lauren Healy, driver record out of Farmington, New Mexico, with Fun Haver Off-Road Team in that 21 Ford Bronco. Bucky with a 2.7 EcoBoost, stock transmission, Atlas, stock IFS with 74 welds and RCVs, Ford Performance, Optima batteries, RTR vehicles, Nitto, Project X, Monster, Pennzoil, Fox, MBRP, Gear Wrench, NGK, K&N, Molly, Recaro, and VP Racing Fuels.
And as you were speaking, Miles, Callan Myers was having some difficulty over there in the Brannick boulders, had to back up just a little bit and was spinning the tires quite a bit. So not going to be the fastest time they are out looking for, but still,
a good time nonetheless.
But still moving along.
And again, it is a hot one today. It's up to 96 degrees. The sun is out, not a cloud in the sky. But we do have a little bit of a wind out here as Kaylin Myers making her way through the Monster Alley. As Vaughn Gittin Jr. is already the PCI Gunite section, so he's on a great run. But Kaylin's right there having fun in that little Suzuki Samurai that could.
Such a fun vehicle, no matter if you're racing it or driving it on the road. But out there making their way through the Monster Alley, making that last sweeping left-hand turn into the checkered flag.
So Kaylin Myers heading across the METALCLOAK start-finish. We'll get a time for her here in just a second.
All right, 3:35.682 as we do see Vaughn making his way through the Brannick boulders.
It looks like patiently sitting on the line and taking off right now is Mr. Albert Contreras, number 4605 out of Compton, California, with Jeep Thrills Off-Road. And that old Jeep LJ, he's been racing with us for a very long time with King Shocks, Torco, Mickey Thompson Tires, Raceline Wheels, Coyote Beadlocks, Race Choice, Yukon, PCI, Artec, Genrite, Eldebrock, AFE, PRP, Warren, and Factor 55. His first Ultra 4 race was back in 2013. He was the Ultra 4 National Champion back in 2016, and he was Ultra 4 Sportsman of the Year in 2018. That goes to show you, we got a lot of great people in this sport. So to be Sportsman of the Year, Albert Contreras is a special person.
Yes, he is. He's an awesome person out here for sure. Let's see what we do have. The Fun Haver coming through in number 2 spot at
3 seconds back.
At a 2:32.419.
And Contreras all over the place. It looks like maybe is he in two-wheel drive?
I'm not sure, but that's back there. Maybe he was wanting to see what the Gomez jump is all about in that back section.
So a great run by Vaughn Gittin Jr. driving for Lauren Healy.
Sitting in that number 2 spot.
So Broncos 1 and 2 so far. And Contreras looks like he's back on the move. So I'm wondering if the transfer case may have popped into two-wheel drive or something, just got a little squirrely.
All right, so right now the fastest time of a 2:29.524. We do have some more drivers over there lined up that will be taking the green flag. John Rance will be one of those that we will not be seeing out there today due to the incident earlier on in practice. But we still have up John Williams, Brexton Glines, and Megan Miller will be taking the green flag.
And we are staging right now for the UTV Pro Modified. They are up next, followed by Youth 1000.
All right, Albert is actually stopped, it looks like, right here. No, he's not. He's moving. Sorry about that. I saw that recovery vehicle.
I think our camera guy even thought that was a race car for a second.
All right, Megan Miller just now taking the green flag in the 3105.
In that METALCLOAK Jeep out of Carmichael, California, local gal, her and her husband Derek, with MDM Motorsports. In that 97 Jeep TJ with a 4.7 stroker that they just put in last week, brand new engine with Milestar, METALCLOAK, Motive Gear, Ape Wraps, Raceline Wheels, Warren, Factor 55, JR's Transmission, Redline Oils, Liberty Mountain Fab, and MDM Construction. Her first race was here at the Stampede back in 2022. And this car may look familiar to you because it's been racing around this area for a long time. Dawson Allington had it for quite a while, and I believe Jacob Pacheco raced it even before Allington. So that car's been racing up here in Northern California for a very, very long time.
I remember her first race out here. She was so stoked and so excited, and it's awesome to see the ladies out here racing. And we do see her going through that Gomez jump area. But right now, Bailey Cole still sitting in that number 1 spot with a 2:29.524. Lauren Healy, a.k.a. Vaughn Gittin Jr. right now at the 2:32.419. Albert Contreras sitting in that number 3 spot with a 2:45.225. So that's our top 3 right now, as we said.
In the 4600 stock class. And Megan Miller made quick work down the PCI Gunite section.
All right, let's see what time she throws down, but she's running very good pace right now.
This is a 1.5-mile qualifying loop, which is the same as the racetrack all day tomorrow here at the METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede. Looks like John Williams just took off out of Logan, Utah with Crossfire Off-Road Racing, and his Ford Bronco with BFG, Warn, Factor 55, Rock Crawler Suspension, Rock Jock 4x4, and Summit Machine. His first Ultra 4 race was King of the Hammers during the EMC, and he got first in Montana last year in the stock class, as Megan Miller's making her way around. We'll see her enter the Monster Alley here shortly, and then grab the checkers there at the METALCLOAK start finish. Again, if you are just tuning in, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. This is the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede here at the Prairie City SVRA. I am Miles Hasquist alongside Mrs. Pam Hall, and this is Ultra 4 racing at its finest.
And yes, and there we do have Miss Megan Miller just took the checkered flag with a 2:42.86 that puts her in the number 3 spot. So great run by Megan Miller. She was having some issues. They had to take her car back to the shop last night and do some stuff to it, but here she is putting down a great run.
Looks like one of our own Brandon Boggs is home checking us out. Thank you for checking it out with us.
All right, and on the screen we do see John Williams making his way through the area, getting ready to make that little right-hand horseshoe into the Brannick Boulders.
At where we saw Steve Cropper take a little tumble earlier, so you got to be careful in that corner. Oh, looks like Glines just took off. I believe that's Brexton Glines out of American Fork, Utah, with Glines Motorsports in that Jeep with tip-top auto transmission. Dana 300, Mickey Thompson Tire, Nemesis, Terraflex, Yukon, Craig Swap and Associates, Nacho Lights, Lone Peak Collision Repair, Wasatch Performance Coatings, Hot Drinks, Coyote Enterprises, Fab Rats YouTube, Chad's Fab YouTube, Giggle Winch, and a whole list of others. Brexton and their whole family are out here racing with us. They brought all their dogs. They've been camping off all weekend, having a great time. They enjoyed the Apex last night, doing a little bit of a go-kart racing during the Ultra 4 breakout there at the Red Hawk Casino. We should get a time here for John Williams. Looks like he doesn't have anything for Bailey Cole or Lauren Healy, though.
It almost looked like he had a flat tire on the passenger rear, but it might have just been the way the dirt was slinging up. But, yeah, him making his way through, sitting now in that number 3 spot. He bumped Megan Miller out of it in just by about 3 seconds. So John Williams sitting in that number 3 spot with a 2:39.422. All right, so and let's talk about Glines really quick. They came and they've raced out here at the NORCAL races as well.
For quite some time, yeah. So they're actually in the points for the NORCAL.
Exactly.
So, and then let's talk about that. So this is an Ultra 4 USA race. Oh, and I just saw one of our drones take a tumble. But this is our Ultra 4 USA race. But with NORCAL, you can double dip a little bit. So you can do Ultra 4 points and NORCAL points.
All right, so here we have Brexton going through the Brannick Boulders over there. I do like how you have a little bit of a break in between there. The Monster Alley, there is no break. It's solid rock the whole entire time.
It's busy, that's for sure.
All right, so Brexton Glines is going to be the last one out on course for our 4600 stock class.
Because John Rance took a tumble during practice, but like you said, Pam, he is at a local shop. He's getting it all fixed up, and he'll be back out here racing tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, Sean said that they're taking it tonight, obviously, because they're out here right now, just not got done qualifying. But again, he is okay. That was my biggest concern after I saw it.
I saw it on the forks of shame.
Yeah, it was not a pretty. He was missing the front right, whole arm, everything. It was just not a good look. But he's okay, and that's why we have all the safety equipment. That's why we tech these cars.
So Brexton Glines is grabbing the checkered flag at the METALCLOAK start finish. with a time in 4th position with a 2:41. Great run by Brexton Glines. So up next will be the UTV Pro Mod, followed by the Youth 1000, and then the 170s.
All right, so in the 4600 stock class, though, that is Mr. Bailey Cole taking the number 1 spot in qualifying with a 2:29.524.
In second place is Lauren Healy with a 2:32.419.
And in that third position, the 4623 of John Williams at a 2:39.422.
In fourth place, Brexton Glines with a 2:41.
And Miss Megan Miller in that 31.05 of a 2:42.867.
In sixth spot is Albert Contreras with a 2:45.225.
And then the seventh position, the 46.95 of Jesse Bennett with a 2:49.032.
And it's Tom Biddle, Kaylin Myers, and John Rance. And over in staging, it looks like we are missing Scott Lesage, Paul Wolf, Travis Zollinger. If you're in the area, head over to staging. Pro Mod is up next.
Yes, we do have a couple in the line right now, and you can see there is our drone pilot right there, Jake, going and recovering the one that you saw take a tumble.
With Believe Cam, he's been flying with us for quite some time. One of the best drone pilots we have out there, but hey, I'm going to say it was a technical glitch because he usually doesn't wreck.
No, he doesn't. Okay, so you can see the line right now. That is Dustin Robbins of the 311, All Things UTV setting.
All the way from Decatur, Alabama.
Yeah, setting in that number 1 spot right there. And then the next one in line is Mr. Cole Clark out of, where's he at, Utah?
Colorado.
I believe
Cortez, if I had to guess.
Yes, and he's branching out this year.
Yeah, he's stepping up to the 4800 as well. He made his 4800 debut last race at Indiana. And he had a good showing, and I talked to him, and it's definitely a different animal, but it's great to see him stepping up out of his comfort zone, teaming up with Jimmy's 4x4.
All right, so here in just a moment, we'll be getting that green flag for Dustin Robbins. Really cool to see him out this way racing with us all the way over here on the West Coast up here in NorCal.
This is our first Ultra 4 USA Western Series race, and we are very excited to be back. Up next is Vegas to Reno, the hard way, teaming up with Best in the Desert, August 14th through 17th, and then we're going to end up the year with the Nationals at the Crossbar Ranch just outside of Davis, Oklahoma, October 11th and 12th. And the Crossbar Ranch has a little bit of everything with all the terrain that tests an Ultra 4 car to its limits. Obviously, we love watching them race short course here at the Stampede, but I love watching it even more when it does a little bit of go fast, a little bit of rock crawling, and everything in between.
Yeah, and you took the words right out of my mouth. It's so awesome to go there because I was explaining to a driver yesterday that has not been there. You know, they were saying, I heard it has a little bit of everything. I'm like, yeah.
It really does.
It's got the water. It's got the rocks. It's got, some of the terrain actually looks like out here, a little bit of the prairie field out here. But here we are at the NorCal Stampede. Next up, as you see, is the Pro Mod class for our 4900 UTV class. We still have a couple drivers that are still not over there, but we do know Travis Zollinger has basically just stepped out of car a class ago, so probably switching over vehicles, but we'll get these guys over there and get them started here in a moment. But it looks like they are also throwing down some water over by the Gomez tree.
A little bit of everywhere. Well, again, we got multiple water trucks out there trying to keep the dust down the best we can. But with the high heat and the dry conditions, it is what it is. I know Good B Bird and the entire NorCal crew is out there doing their best and making this an amazing racetrack for us here with Ultra 4 USA during the METALCLOAK NorCal Stampede.
And there we have a shot of Dustin Robbins out there in that number 1 spot. Cole Clark sitting there second, waiting to take the green flag. Not the number 1 spot, I just say number 1.
He's taking off first.
Taking off first, right?
It's first come, first serve, so he's getting it out of the way.
It's kind of like, do you want to go first or do you want to go last? Because going first, now you have a target on your back. And then it's like if you go last, then you got to push yourself a little bit harder to make sure you're even a faster time. So it's I guess a game you play with yourself of how you want to qualify. Do you want to be the target or do you want to be the chaser?
It's all strategy and or whatever. Just get in there and get your qualifying run. And while we wait for this to kick off, all this coverage of Ultra 4 USA for the METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede is presented by METALCLOAK and is brought to you by our official sponsors, Brannick, PCI, NORCAL Rock Racing, and by METALCLOAK. Thanks to each and every one of those sponsors. Without them, we would not be racing here today. So again, the fastest lap of the day thus far is Mr. Travis Zollinger with a 2:04.482. So that's a smoking run, but I do think the 4,400 Unlimited cars, they might break that 2-minute mark. We'll see. Again, my first guess was 2 minutes flat. You had a 1:52.
I'm sticking with it.
It may be right in there between us. We'll see.
I'm sticking with it. I'm 1:52 is what I'm going to keep guessing, but maybe 1:55, 1:57 is what's actually going to be. But
we'll see how it all shakes out. But what a great day of qualifying thus far. It's been one heck of a weekend, and we are just getting started. And again, if you are just tuning in, we're just outside of Sacramento at the Prairie City SVRA. It's only $30 a day, $50 for the weekend. Kids 12 and under are free. So come on out and check it out.
All right, so we do have 4 of our drivers over there right now. Again, Dustin Robbins will be our first one out as they're lined up right now. Cole Clark will be going out after Dustin. Then we have Travis Zollinger and Mr. Paul Wolf. So our 4 cars that are lined up. Once we get Scott Lesage over there and get all the water thrown down on the track, we'll be going back live qualifying out here in Prairie City.
And I was talking about the Nationals just a little bit ago. It's at the Crossbar Ranch, and I had my dates a little mixed up. It's actually October 18th and the 19th.
Yes.
So I apologize about that. Thanks, Casey Gilbert, for calling me out on that one, buddy. And also, thank you for tuning in.
Casey needs to come race this course.
He'd do all right out here. He definitely keeps plenty busy.
Yes, he does. At least let Aiden come out and race.
He raced short course with us at Bowling Green this year, and he changed oil about midway through the course. He forgot to check the drain plug and lost all his oil, so short course may not be his thing, but no, all in good fun, buddy. Thanks for tuning in, and can't wait to see you at the next one.
All right, still throwing a little bit of water down out there on the track.
So Prairie City SVRA is a California state park with 836 acres, located at the base of the Sierra Nevada foothills, with 20 miles east of downtown Sacramento in Northern California. The area offers a great OHV enthusiast. It's got a little bit of everything between UTVs, 4x4s, and it's the home of Hangtown AMA Track. It's just a great area, and man, Goodby and Bird and the entire NorCal team just puts on a great short course race. They have 4 or 5 NorCal races a year out here, and then to be able to join forces with Ultra 4 USA and to come to Goodby's house and come here and have some fun. Man, again, this track is similar all the time, but it's not the same. They come here and build the jumps, but then they have to take the jumps away.
Yes.
So even though it's the same area, the terrain definitely changes with the jumps and where they put the step-ups and the gap jumps and everything in between. So it's fun to see what they do each and every race.
What I like about that, too, is changing up the race course, every single race. It gives the driver something different to maneuver around, too, instead of getting used to the same exact course the whole entire, series or season or whatnot. It just, it keeps them on their toes a little bit.
Yeah, this race we're running counterclockwise. Obviously, they change it from time to time. But yeah, it's a super fun little short course here for the METALCLOAK Stampede.
All right, here we are waiting for one more driver, Mr. Scott Lesage. I know he was up here earlier on, passed him by up here in the scoring tower. But Miles, right now I'm just gonna tell you I'm very thankful we're up here in this shade. It was so hot down there during the drivers' meeting, and here we are getting to go live up here in the tower up here at Prairie City and watch from above.
And up next is Dustin Robbins, the number 311 out of Decatur, Alabama, with all things UTV in his Pro Modified Can-Am with all things UTV, full throttle power sports. All Things Bronco, Apex Powder Coating, Schofield Performance, Wayland Speed, MRT Tires, Vision Wheels, and Double E Racing. His first Ultra 4 race was the Mud Race at Davis, Oklahoma at the Crossbar Ranch.
And he's making great time so far through that area that you guys are calling the finger area. And, yeah,
Look at that. He smoked through the rhythm section. And let's talk about a Pro modified car. You can have hydraulic steering and aftermarket turbos. It has to be based on an OEM chassis, but aftermarket chassis are allowed with both sides. Must use stock suspension points. Reinforcing is allowed. Must run full front plastics. 35-inch tire and 1,000cc maximum engine.
And let's talk about that boat side. There's not a lot of them that do run that in this class. There are a few of them, but it's really cool to see them in like at King of the Hammers and stuff.
Yeah, in the rocks, it really makes a difference.
Yes, exactly, and it also sets them up a little bit higher. So short course, you don't want to be setting up that high, and you have to know what you want to set your suspension up. But look at Dustin Robbins making his way around. Yeah. He's getting ready to make that horseshoe right-hand turn into the branding boulders as he spins around.
Uh-oh, getting a little loose there as Cole Clark takes off, number 24 out of Cortez, Colorado, with J4 in his RMS-built custom Polaris RS1 with Turbo Razor drivetrain. The Slightly Heated Podcast, ZRP, Elevated Smoke, KMC, Rugged, and PRP. His first Ultra 4 race was King of the Hammers back in 2018. He's won in Moab, he's won in Reno, Oklahoma, and here at the Stampede the last time Ultra 4 was here.
All right, Dustin Robbins, he is going to definitely lose probably about 3-4 seconds on that little bit of a spin around, so that's going to be frustrating for him, but fresh water was put down, so that's something that, you have to make sure you let up or whatnot. But here he is entering into the Monster Alley rocks.
Yeah, I mean, there's a happy medium between a little water and a lot of water. But, hey, I'd like him to put a lot of water down because that dust is nasty. As Robbins gets all sorts of slideways as he heads towards the METALCLOAK start finish.
Whoa.
Gets a little bit of a bicycle, but does not let off the gas.
All right, a 2:21.846 for Dustin Robbins.
That's a very respectful run with the spin out as we flip back to
Cole Clark.
Cole Clark, as he's heading towards, he'll do a 180 and then hit the Brannick boulders here in just a moment.
And Cole Clark is one. Oh, Cole Clark just went on his side in that right-hand turn into the Brannick boulders.
Steve Crawford took a little bicycle bump, so tough break for him. But off the line next is Travis Zollinger once again out of Logan, Utah with ZRP Racing. And that Can-Am Maverick R with Zollinger Racing Products, FK Rod Ends, Fox, K&T Performance, BFG Tires, Logan Coach, Sparco, Warren, Hyperco, Baja Designs, and Run BC. We'll see if we can get Cole Clark cleared in time to give Zollinger a safe racetrack. We'll see. I think we still have time.
Well, they're flagging Travis Zollinger right now,
okay,
so they're going to rerun.
We're going to call it better safe than sorry because it was going to be really close to whether our safety crew could get him down. So Travis Zollinger's kind of getting a little bit of a free run here, and we will re-rack him. He'll get another run. I assume we'll get another car out there, but it sounds like we have a replay of Cole Clark. Let's see what happened. He comes in, just grabs that, just comes in a little hot, bicycles, and is unable to save it. So tough break for Cole Clark. He'll be taking a rear start during tomorrow's race.
Well, and that's so unfortunate. You could just tell that he was pushing it. He was pushing it super hard and just was not able to save it. There's always that happy medium right there wherever you can't quite save it.
And I think we got a different angle on it, so let's check it. Oh, hold on. They got to get a little bit behind the scenes a little bit. They teased me a little bit, but they said they got another angle. I want to see it.
All right, so you can see Travis Zollinger's just going to make his way back around to get that restart here in just a moment. But that is definitely something that I'm playing it smart for sure because Travis Zollinger has been on it, and he's picking up these fastest times. He has the fastest time of the day so far at a 2:04.482 in our UTV Open class. So definitely want to make sure he gets a respectful run.
And it looks like Mama Ange with Rufus Racing is tuned in watching. Thanks for checking it out.
Awesome.
Looks like she's at the Sports Bar, their local little favorite. I can't remember the name of it, but I remember going there and having a great time. So thanks for having it tuned in to Ultra 4 USA.
We'll be seeing them again, I believe, Oklahoma is when we'll see them again.
Yeah, that's fairly local to Rufus Racing, just a couple hours across the border from Texas. So Travis Zollinger will get a rerun because of safety reasons. Cole Clark was upside down. We did not have a clear course. Looks like they're going to send him right back on out.
All right, so that will leave Paul Wolf just waiting to do his run here in just a moment. But Paul likes to do that last run of the day kind of thing for the class, because then that's how hard, like we were talking earlier, he needs to know how hard to push it.
We still have a couple more cars to go.
Well, we have Paul Wolf and Scott Lesage. I have not seen Scott. Oh, there he has showed up over there.
And it looks like that may be Jordan Hewlett as well. And as at Bender's is that local sports bar. Thank you, Rockhold, for hitting me up on that one. That's such a fun bar, and to have Ultra 4 USA playing, that's pretty cool.
All right, looks like recovery's back in place, so they got Cole Clark put back on the rubber side down.
Yeah, he is off course, so I believe we should be very close to running Travis Zollinger once again. Looks like we're trying to get recovery back in place, making sure we have a safe track for everyone. Chris Elrod's running the start down there, making sure everything's running smooth. I see Trotter down there keeping everybody in line, our race director. I'm sure John Goodby's running around, probably in the air-conditioned Jeep, keeping us all in line.
All right, and there we do have Travis Zollinger doing his rerun in his Maverick R, taking off in that gap jump right there, just perfectly landing it.
Just launching it. There was a little talk when the drivers were doing the little track walk about they're a little bit nervous about the METALCLOAK gap jump, and Goodby just kind of laughed. Chris shook his head, and look at it. It's perfect, and I love the added addition.
I was going to say that gap jump, they're definitely not looking like they're afraid of it now that they're out on course.
So Goodby actually got out of his Jeep to come wave at us. So. No,
he was waving at you, not me. That was definitely a wave to Miles, not Pam.
No, it's been a great year with Ultra 4 USA. So a huge shout out to John Goodby for taking this on and making it happen.
Did you see Travis taking that a little too fast and it nose dove just a little bit?
That jump does that to a lot of people if you hit it with enough speed. But if you win it down, throttle it out as he sends it down the PCI gunite section.
All right. We have Will Harris also checking in. His son Eli's been racing in our Youth 1000 class, and he's checking in, watching the racing going on here. As we see Travis Zollinger making that 180 turn right here, that is where Cole Clark caught his bicycle and was not able to save it.
So up next off the line once again is Mr. Paul Wolf, number 1018 out of Alton, Illinois, with Wolf Racing in his Can-Am X3 with Nitto tires, RCR, RCV, HCR, Raceline, Alltech, Radflow, VP, Willwood, Project X, FK, Halo, JB Scales Graphics, Evo, ZRP, Rugged, CBR, Holly, and First Form. And on screen right now, once again, in Monster Alley is Travis Zollinger.
He's definitely making a quick run. I don't know. He's trying to beat that 2:04.
Can he beat his own time? I don't think so.
No, he's definitely not beating it.
It's going to be close.
2:06. 2:05.955. So almost
1 second off. Second and a half off. That's pretty consistent. Yes. As we're back on screen with Mr. Paul Wolf. He's heading down the PCI gunite section. And they make it look easy. That's a pretty legit little downhill man-made gunite rock section, and they are just floating down it, making it look easy. And Paul Wolf is on the gas trying to make up some time.
When he was making that left-hand turn, it's kind of cool because there's a little bit of a hop in that turn, so it's kind of like a short course style. Well, this is short course, but like watching Pro 4s, Pro 2s race, it's kind of that kind of little jump.
Setup.
Yes.
And he's been racing Pro 4 here recently, so he's getting another form of racing under his belt as he makes it through the Brannock boulders into the King jump.
Nice little donkey kick there. But yeah, no, he was last weekend in Crandon, Wisconsin racing with Champ. So definitely getting lots of seat time for Paul Wolf. He's racing in a Pro 4 and his UTV there as well. Oh, and look at that little
Man, this is going to be a fast run. He may have some time. This could be a new fast time. This could be really close.
2:01.
This could be a new fast time. We're going to see Paul Wolf throwing it down. What a great run. And, yes, a new fast time of a 2:03.019. So just shaved about a half a second off of Zollinger. No, a second and a half, sorry.
Second and a half, yeah, that's a great run by Mr. Paul Wolf.
So I've got my little unofficial cheat sheet down here, and first fast time was Zollinger, second fast time was Wolf, third fast time was Zollinger, and now new fast time's Wolf. So
they're back and forth, back and
man,
forth.
Man, what a great run by those two guys.
Definitely a great run for sure. And I didn't quite catch the number on that. Is that Scott Lesage out on course?
Yes, that is Scott Lesage making his debut run in that brand new car. It's absolutely a beautiful work of art out of Syracuse, Utah with Sage Alternatives. It is a Polaris, but it's completely custom into a single seat. He's got a Craftworks supercharger on it, Maxxis, Fox, X-Travel, RCV, Maxima Oils, Cryoheat, Impact, and Tire Spine. He's been racing with Ultra 4 since 2018, and I was chatting to him about this car. He was hoping to debut it at King of the Hammers. It wasn't ready. He came and showed it off a little bit. And again, if you're in the pits up here, come check it out. A little piece of body
came off.
But I was chatting with him. He's like, man, I just wanted to pass tech, so I had to leave a little bit on the line, like suspension. He didn't get it quite dialed in, but he's out here racing, so he is debuting this beautiful work of art. And I'm telling you, if you're here at Prairie City SVRA, go check it out. It's worth it. It's a fun little machine. It looks like it was a left front fender that came up. Most of the suspension full stuff, kind of kissed it a little bit.
Yeah, when he went off on that jump, it wasn't, instead of the donkey kick like people have been doing, he actually landed on the rear wheels first and it slapped down onto the front, and that's exactly when that piece of body fell off. But here Scott Lesage is making his way through. He is going more on the right-hand side there of the Brannick boulders.
He's kissing the K-rail on the right side. But so far, a good run for him.
It's all strategic.
And look at that. It's just it obviously looks like a Razor, but it definitely has its own little pizzazz to it. I really dig it.
In a sense is, RS1-y look, but also the Cole Clark-y look.
Yeah. But a great run thus far for Scott Lesage. So up next is going to be the Youth 1000 and then the Youth 170. So head towards staging, you two. Through the Monster Alley, and then the checkered flag will be flying at the METALCLOAK start-finish for Scott Lesage. See him catch a little bit of a bicycle there, but kept her under control.
All right, Scott Lesage coming through with a 2:28.018. That puts him sitting in that number 4 position.
And that number 3rd position is Dustin Robbins with a 2:21.846.
And in that number 2 position, the number 20 of Travis Zollinger. And Travis Zollinger with a great time as well.
And fastest run of the day is Mr. Paul Wolf with a 2:03.019. So he'll be starting in that pole position and getting 7 points for being the fastest qualifier in his class.
All right, so let's talk about this. Out here, we were talking about our vendors and everything. We have the Jeepers Jamboree out here with their booth set up. They're out here talking about everything that's going on in the UTV Conquest. So they are actually going to be giving a hard charger award out to a UTV driver. They're going to give an entry for one entry into the UTV Conquest, which is coming up next month.
And what you were explaining is what's the hard charger? It's just kind of going to be a class vote to say who was the best UTV you saw out there racing. We'll do a little vote out there and give them a 1 free entry.
Yes, 1 free entry, and I mean they can have other people with him go, but it's good for one ticket to the UTV Conquest. So thank you, Robert, Scott, and Bob, and everybody with Jeepers Jamboree for this hard charger award for the UTV Conquest. And on screen we do have Tice Healy.
That is Lauren Healy's son. Lauren's riding shotgun. There are no co-drivers during this race except for the Youth 1K. So Tice and Lauren Healy are on screen as we see number 67 out of Farmington, New Mexico with Fun Haver Off-Road Team. I was asking him who his sponsors were. Team Fun Haver, Mom and Dad. His first King of the Hammers race was this year, 2024, so it's great to see Tice and Lauren sharing some fun out there. And again, the Ultra 4 USA family is something really special, and to see Lauren Healy and the Trent family out here letting their kids go out there and race, it's something very, very special.
Yeah, and that's really cool to see. Actually, his sister was supposed to race at Hammers, and she ended up, I think it was a collarbone or something, she ended up breaking right before, so she wasn't able to race, so Tice ended up out there. But it was so cool to see Lauren in the passenger seat on that start line, chatting with him while they were getting ready to go out. But here we do have Tice out there running a great lap so far. Normally we have a pretty good stacked field of the Youth 1000 class. We don't have some of them here, of course. We have a lot of East Coasters. Again, Will Harris is still tuning in, watching this because his son Eli races in this class over on the East Coast and raced at King of the Hammers as well. But look at Tice making his way through those Bronco boulders. This is a great way, as we know that he already has training in this because his dad is like an expert, but here he is out making his way through the boulders. The number 67 of Tice Healy. I believe, I'm not sure, how old is he, Miles? Do you have his age? I think he's 13?
I think he's 12 years old. Just turned 12 years old.
All right, so he looks like he might be switching into high gear
from high
again.
To low.
From low
to high. Yep, sorry. So most everybody will stay in high side, but this is a great transition from the 170 class. Before you go into the full-on race cars, you can do this Youth 1K. We started that, it was this year at King of the Hammers, so it's something fairly new to Ultra 4 and King of the Hammers. I think it's a great stepping stone as Tice Healy's making his way through Monster Alley. You know, taking his time, and two-time King of the Hammers champion sitting in the right seat. That's something pretty cool. Have your dad over there having some fun, kind of coaching him away, saying, you know, save the car, but make it through.
And there he just now made his way through Monster Alley, coming around to take that checkered flag for the Youth 1000 qualifying run. Next up will be the number 14 of Dylan Trent. Be taking that green flag. And Tice Healy coming through with a 3:20.987. So
that's
great run.
That's a great run by that young man.
I mean, the kids are the future of the sport, and it's awesome to see the parents being so supportive and wanting to be out there with their kids in the passenger seat. And if you're out there racing as a dad and your kid's of age and they have a class for them, why wouldn't you want to put them in it? Because you're already at the track.
Oh, yeah, and it's, again, just a great stepping stone. Get you some seat time out there.
Yep, exactly. All right. So I don't
see Dylan Trent. Again, you do not have to qualify, and obviously, if there's only two in your class, you're starting side by side.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, you do not have to qualify, and Dylan does have a little bit. His wrist is a little under the weather, so it's possible they're saving that.
All right. So next up, our Youth 170 classes. And it looks like we are going to have our limited class up first. We have two cars in that class as well. We have Cash Martinez in the 21Y, and we'll have Hunter Biddle in the 107.
We saw Tom Biddle, his dad, in that black Toyota earlier on today. So again, a great seeing the whole family out here enjoying themselves. And we will have to, I guess I meant to ask, I'm usually pretty good about that because obviously the 170s will run a limited course, and been busy enough doing everything. I forgot to kind of check out to see what the Youth 170 course is. Obviously they're not doing the METALCLOAK gap jump. They're going to skip all of the Brannick boulders in Monster Alley. So I'm going to say this will probably be at a 3/4 of a track, and it'll just rip right along.
I have to say I do see over there right by the Gomez tree there is a recovery
course,
recovery over there, so they're obviously going to be going back that direction, it looks like. Maybe. I didn't get a chance either to get out there and take a look at it as well. All right, so here we will be taking the green flag here in just a little bit for the UTV 170 limited class. Again, we have two cars in it. In total, we do have, I believe it's 9 youth that will be out here racing with us this weekend in the 170 classes.
There are 3 different classes split up there.
11. I said 9, but there's 11 actually.
Oh, you're fine. I can't count very good either.
Last time I looked, there were 9, so that means we've had a couple more actually registered since the last time I looked. All right, sounds like they're going to be throwing some water down on the areas where we are not racing the youth on for when we get back live with the larger cars. Got to stay on top of that dust. You know, it can get really bad out there really quick.
Oh, yeah. It can get away with you if you don't keep on top of it. But, again, the NORCAL racing crew out here, this is their home track, and they know how to do things. So they're keeping everything running nice and smooth.
All right, sounds like they are going to go back and get some of the 170 track watered up for us for these kiddos, and it's, you know, completely different out here. When you think about throwing water down on the course, it's not that slippery stuff that we've been racing in, you know, on the East Coast, the clay, the red dirt. Out here, it's a different style dirt. It's not as slippery like ice, I should say. All right, so fastest time of the day, still Paul Wolf at that 2:03.019.
Which is a smoking run, and only 3 seconds off my guess. We'll see.
I know, you're always way closer, but at least I'm guessing.
There's Pam right there. We're up here in the booth, so you can see the windows are open, so there's no air conditioning in here. But it's still a beautiful day.
Yes.
I can't think of a better place to be.
I'm just glad we're in the shade.
Yeah, the shade definitely helps. But the crew out there is putting up multiple easy ups. And again, if you're anywhere in the area, come on out. Bring your easy up. Bring your lawn chair. This is one of the best spectator-friendly courses out here. And it was 96, but you can see it there. It's creeped up to 97.
I was going to say, Miles, earlier when we first started the live show, they had this up as well. It was 95 degrees. So
it keeps sneaking up there.
What time of the day is it right now? It's 4:30. So here we are, getting a little bit warmer out here, but it's a great day out here still of racing. It's always a great day when you're at the racetrack.
Oh, absolutely. It beats a day in the office every single time. And we will be live racing tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
A little bit cool. It's actually been pretty cool here in the morning, but look at our pits. That's all of the racer pits out there. Great turnout out here this weekend, and tomorrow, I can only imagine what the spectator section is going to look like.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild one for sure. I can't wait. Obviously, qualifying's fun, but when you get a full-on race, and then again, the biggest and baddest names in our sport, we should have 20 cars on this course at a time during our main event. It's going to be a wild one. The main event is going to be 10 laps.
All right, so let's talk about this view right here. Up here by this power tower up here in below King
right.
Shops, that is where registration was. That has been open 24 hours since we opened up on Thursday. And Andrea and the whole crew out there, Roxy and I were over there as well doing registration. But every single person coming into this park stops there, gets their bands, comes on in, and has a great time. But that gate right there is open 24 hours. It's been a fun time over there chatting with the drivers as they come in.
At the left of your screen there, you see all the trees. That's where most of the spectators go because there's quite a bit of shade. And again, bring your easy up, bring your cooler, bring your lawn chair, and enjoy Ultra 4 USA at its finest for the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede. We are here at the Prairie City SVRA, right next to Hangtown. If you remember back in the day, quite a few cool things happened just next door during the motocross days.
I think they still actively have a lot of the races.
They still race.
The big races.
But I just remember when I was a younger lad that Hangtown was a cool place to go.
Where are you from?
I'm from everywhere.
You said lad.
Like.
Called yourself a lad. Oh, goodness. All right. So.
And speaking about that, Jonathan Terhune is chiming in from London.
Oh, yes.
So he's out here having some fun.
Nice. It's awesome to see people from all over definitely checking it out. Last weekend, you were in Montana.
Yeah, it was a great weekend up there with the Your Series. Aaron and Grizz run a great show up there, and the weather was definitely a little bit different.
Yes, you were in Montana, and I was in the Virgin Islands.
Roughing it, huh?
Yeah, first vacation in a long time. I won't complain about that one. But here we are at the racetrack again. It's always fun at a racetrack.
It sounds like I'm hearing over the PCI race radios the course is about to go hot. Chris Elrod's down there keeping everybody in line. I see Jeremy Dickinson and Brian Trotter keeping everything rolling. A great shot of the METALCLOAK arch right in the center of our race course.
All right, so it looks like we do have Cash Martinez. He'll be going out first for his qualifying run, and then Hunter Biddle right behind him.
So Cash Martinez is 12 years old, number 21 out of Pine Top, Arizona, with Martinez Racing. Part of the limited class in his Polaris Razor with GSP, Elkhorn Cabinets, KFC, Sholo Ford, Charlie Clark's, Rugged, Maxxis, and Hunter Hounds. His first Ultra 4 USA was last year at Lake Havasu, and he got first in Kentucky earlier this year. He's little bit off course there for a moment, but
yeah, a little bit off course there, but right here I think he'll be doing a left-hand turn. All right, he'll be making that left-hand turn right here. And he also raced at King of the Hammers this year as well.
Well, looks like we're going to flag him down. Not quite sure what's going on.
Well, what had happened is it looked like he was trying to go down where that finger is and kind of got off a little bit. And I think it threw off his little qualifying run. So looks like they're going to turn him around and let him restart. All right, so Cash Martinez coming back this direction.
But I believe he's going backwards on course.
Yeah,
so
they're waving him down.
We're going to wait till we send out the next one.
Yeah, they're waving him down right there, going to send him back across around the boulders, obviously. So Cash Martinez is going to go over and do a restart.
And it sounds like we are going to give a restart because I don't think he intentionally tried to get off course. He was just a little bit lost. So we'll get him back on course and get him underway. But what a wonderful day it is for the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede here at the Prairie City SVRA. This is qualifying, getting everything set up for tomorrow's racing that kicks off at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, thank you to each and every one of you for tuning in. It's been a great day so far, and we're not even halfway through.
All right, so that is Chris Elrod right there. He's explaining to Cash exactly where he needs to be going, and Brian Trotter, our race director. Here comes Cash's dad down there, just making sure all is good.
We up next will be the 4,800 class and then the 4,400s, the biggest and baddest names in our sport. So some great action still to come as we're just getting underway with the Youth 170s, the future of our sport. We just saw Tice Healy take off, a great stepping stone, and off the line once again is Cash Money Martinez out of Pine Top, Arizona.
All right, so it's got a little bit of explanation out there exactly where that course is going. Cash Martinez also races in other series as well, so he is a seasoned driver for his age. All right, so they make pretty tight left-hand turn right there as we saw instead of going down into that finger section.
No. We better stop him.
Whoa.
Ooh, he catches himself.
All right.
Because he was heading backwards on course once again. And listen to the PCI Race Radio. Sounds like we're going to send it back one more time to get him back on track.
All right, so all of you watching at home, the live show on the YouTube, it's awesome to see that you guys are chiming in. Thank you guys so much for watching. We greatly appreciate it. You guys share the Facebook post with a link on it. Let's get this out there. Get everybody watching it. It's awesome to be back live. It's awesome to be working. I mean, Miles, you and I still work together, but we've been working on race course and doing different stuff, but it's been awesome to be back on a live show for everybody at home.
I love doing all of it, but for sure, yeah, this has been a great time once again.
All right, somebody's wanting to know how far we are from San Jose. Well, if you are in NorCal, you go towards Folsom. We're not that far from you, so come on out tomorrow and check it out.
Yeah, it's only $30 a day for some of the best short course, high-flying action we can find. Looks like we are going to send all the 170s out for a sight lap, I do believe, and I think that's a good idea.
Chris May is watching. His daughter Raleigh May also races in the Youth 1000 class. So thanks for watching, Chris.
And the 170s.
And the 170s. She's getting a lot of seat time. She races at Durham Town, also in Georgia. She does endurance races there as well. So she races a short course and a 2-hour endurance race with Chris May riding co-driver with her.
But she only does that when her dad can keep the car together.
No, she's been giving him good credit. He's gotten better at that. And then let's see, we got people watching from Portugal. So awesome to see everybody
all over the world, huh?
Yes. All right, Mick Henson is cheering on Hunter.
He'll be up next after Cash Martinez after the sight lap.
Garrett Phelps, saying hi to Hay and Miles and Pam. All right, so here we are too. Stacy Wyrick, we'll see you tomorrow. I know you were watching at home whenever Dan went out for his qualifying loop. All right. So thanks, everybody. Again, we have this on, the link is on Facebook, so make sure you guys go and share that link on Facebook. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and give them a sight lap, which is needed definitely for the 170s. The course doesn't really...
It deviates.
It deviates, but here's the thing, too. I mean, when it's not the burned-in course, you kind of want to follow the tracks, and if you're out there focused and you don't know exactly where the course was going, it's not burned in, and here we are. So great... call right here by Race Ops to give all of these kids a sight lap. And we should be having 11 kids that will be doing the qualifying loop.
In three separate classes.
Yes,
we have the limited, the modified, and the stock. Some of the general rules we have here at Ultra 4 USA is the driver of record must start or finish each race. Drivers are allowed one substitute driver per season unless there's a medical reason. Driver must race the same car they qualify in or take a rear start. Ultra 4 is a no-chase race. Obviously, at a short course race, that is not an issue. And you do have to have a spotter in the stand with radio communication. And the way our point set goes is today during qualifying, every class, if you get the pole position in your class, you do get 7 points for that. And then tomorrow during the mains, if you get first place, you get 1,000 points. Second place gets 975. Third gets 965, and then it's 5 less points there on out. You do have to complete 2/3 of the race to get those points. Otherwise, you only get 200 points to start. You must race King of the Hammers to be qualified for national points. And it's just a great thing we have going, and it's been a lot of fun.
It has been a blast, for sure. I mean, King of the Hammers right there, kicks us off for the season every single year. But here we are out here again in NorCal. Again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We also have some of our recovery sweep team from NORA tuning in. Scott's tuning in.
Oh, Scott Reddish. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. We got people tuning in all over the place out here.
Dykus wants to know if he can race the 170 class.
Not riding shotgun, buddy.
Or in the 170s. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, he passed that age limit a couple years ago.
About 5 years ago?
At least. Times 10. As they're rolling through here on their sight lap.
WFO Concepts, they're tuning in. They're calling these kids out here little shredders.
Oh, yeah, they're going to have some fun. I love watching the Youth 170s out here. Again, the future of our sport. It's going to be a great time to watch them have fun.
Yes, it is. And that is Hunter Biddle right there behind our pace car. We'll see if Cash Martinez is going to be the first off the line again. He has the start-finish down now for sure.
Hopefully. I wouldn't say for sure. Yeah, he had a little tough go there. But hopefully after the sight lap, and then they did a great thing with the water truck, kind of led it with that. So it's kind of a burned-in wet track. So hopefully they can keep on line there.
All right, Miles, you're getting some shout-outs now for your one-hit wonder last night.
Which one?
Your first place.
Oh, yeah. Did all right. That was fun.
Jake Bursey. He's calling you the go-kart champion.
I would have beat him too, probably. I'm joking, buddy. But no, it was a great time last night at the Apex during there at the Red Hawk Casino. It's just such a cool facility, and the camaraderie, the racing, don't get me wrong, was a lot of fun. But then the after talk, I mean, all the drivers are out there just talking smack, having fun, and enjoying some drinks, grabbing some great grub. It was just such a great vibe last night. That was our first time going there, and it was a big success. So I hope to do that more and more in the future.
It was definitely, what it is it brings all the racers together, because you come here, you hang out in the pits, after the races sometimes, but it gives it something different, but they're still being competitive. That's what's really fun about that. So for the NORCAL crew and John Goodby getting that set up for everybody last night, super fun. Like you just said, it'd be fun to go do it again. I hope I gotta go practice though. I didn't do so hot.
But you had a good time, and that's what it's all about. Just like here at Ultra 4. I mean, so obviously there's only one winner per race. So as long as you're out here having fun, that's why we're doing it.
I'm gonna let you read this one. The bottom one. Jake Versey again.
Old Jake having some fun out there. It was good seeing him racing with us once again last weekend.
Oh, goodness. You won the talking game. So those at home that don't know what we're laughing at, he's saying Miles won the talking game last night.
I like having fun. And Dave, you're right. Yep, it was a BA time, buddy.
Here we are watching the 170s doing their little
sight lap. They finished up a sight lap.
So
hopefully we got them a little more coached up on where to go and how to do it. So I believe we'll send out Cash Martinez once again. Oh, looks like that's a different car. That may be Biddle.
Yeah, Hunter Biddle's taking the green flag off first this time.
So Hunter Biddle, number 107 out of Longmont, Colorado, with Hunter Racing, part of the modified 170 class in this Polaris single-seat 170 with side-by-side performance with Elite Power Sports.
All right, so Hunter Biddle out on course. They just did their sight lap. That was definitely needed for these guys. It's like we were saying, the track's not burnt in for them, so it's good to see that they ended up giving them that sight lap.
So Hunter Biddle, number 107, his dad, Tom Biddle, raced in the 4600 class just a little bit ago. So he's out there cruising about 23.5 miles an hour.
He's right now at a great time so far at a 41-second lap. He's going. What we're seeing them do, they're cutting across where the Gomez tree is, dropping back in below the PCI gunite section.
So cutting out all the hard stuff. Obviously, these things are very minimal suspension, so they do not go well in the rocks.
Definitely not.
Oh, and I hear somebody taking off again.
That is Cash Martinez. He has those two American flags that he runs on the roof of his car in the number 21.
So Cash Money Martinez out of Pine Top, Arizona, with Martinez Racing in that Polaris RZR with GSP, Elkhorn Cabinets, KFC, Sholo Ford, Charlie Clark's, Rugged Radios, Maxxis, and Hunter Hounds. All
right, so we have our drone right over the top of Hunter Biddle.
He'll be coming around. He's bypassing the Monster Alley.
So they go to the left of the rock section, and they'll be coming around making that big, long sweeper turn.
And he is back on normal course right now, heading towards the METALCLOAK start-finish. So he'll have about a 2-minute flat or so. So that's a very respectable run for Hunter Biddle.
All right.
A 157.
Yes.
Look at that. That's a great run. Back on screen with...
It's closer to my 152 time.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't say what class.
Cash Money Martinez out there running. And like you said, Pam, I love seeing the American flags on the back of that car. Speaking about American, METALCLOAK is American-made at its finest. We got the opportunity to go. Matson took us on a tour a couple days ago, or however long ago. We've been here for a little bit.
It was on Wednesday, yes.
It was such an amazing experience. That place is absolutely amazing. And again, American-made at its finest. METALCLOAK does almost everything in-house, and they are proud of it.
And he was out here earlier on. I'm sure he's probably still hanging around.
Oh, he's here, I'm sure. And
yeah.
I told him to come have a chat with us at least once today and a few times tomorrow. But again, Matson, appreciate everything you and METALCLOAK do for us. So we'll see you around for sure.
All right, Cash Martinez coming through in the 21Y with a 144.263, and Hunter Biddle in that second spot with a 157.563. They are in the 170 limited class, and they are the only two in that class right at this point. But Kevin Bailey is saying that these guys and the gals out here are the next generation of rock racers, and that is 100% true. So good to see these kids out here. But Cash Martinez right here on screen. Let's see exactly, or he finished up. I'm sorry about that. I'm watching two different screens here. Now on course, we do have our UTV 170 stock class. That's actually Peter Abt out there in the number 575.
Out of Santa Maria, California, with Abt Motorsports, part of the stock class, and his Polaris with rugged race radios, Abt Motorsports, and Team Awesome. He got third at KOH this year in the stock class, so he's got some pretty good things. He's been racing NORCAL for quite some time. We'll see his dad, Edwin, running in the 4400 class later on today and tomorrow. Again, great seeing the entire family coming out here and having some fun.
All right, look, they're so tiny in these cars, too. It's like you can't even hardly see them because the seats are usually up higher than them. But it looks like we are going to have another one take the green flag in our Youth 170 stock class. And we do have Hunter Valdez in the number 2222.
How many twos?
2222. 4. All right, Peter Abt out there making his way around, but that is Hunter Valdez that we just were looking at. Two red cars out on course at the same time. They look very, very similar.
So Hunter Valdez out of Aguadulce, California with Telemetry Motorsports and his Polaris with North-South Machinery and EDM Performance. His first race was King of the Hammers this year.
All right, let's see what time we have for Peter.
Abt, he'll be coming through the METALCLOAK start-finish right around that 2-minute mark or so.
All right, a 157.888. So Hunter Biddle was a 157.563. So 2 157s so far for our 170 classes. Two different classes, of course.
And we have 3 in total that'll be racing. We have the limited, the modified, and the stock class.
All right. Let's see what we have here. Taking the green flag, that is the 339 of Claire Dixon.
Out of Santa Cruz, California with Dixon Racing. In her Polaris 170 with JB Precision. She got first at King of the Hammers this year in the stock class. She loves to ride her dirt bike, but her favorite thing to do is hip-hop dance.
Oh, a little tiny bicycle right there.
But was able to keep it under control. So Claire Dixon out there running strong, as well as
all right,
Hunter Valdez
coming through with a 158.291. So good job by Hunter. And in that number 2 spot right now, right behind Peter Abt. All right, the 339 right here, Claire Dixon. Getting a little bit of air time there. They don't get a lot of air time, obviously. They're not like super fast, but it's fun for these kids. And as a little kid getting that air time, I mean, it's got to feel like you're jumping 5 feet in the air. All right, so Claire Dixon out on course. We should have one more coming out in the number 777 of Dalton Bleak.
And the 4800 Legends class is staging now. So they will be up. The 4800 class is up next.
All right, Claire Dixon coming around to that long left-hand sweeper around to the finish line.
It is so fun watching the future of our sport out there enjoying this racetrack here for the METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede.
I think Claire Dixon just took the number 1 spot, and she did at a 155.039. Good job by Claire Dixon in the number 339.
We'll see her dad racing later this weekend as well. I believe we have one more yet to go of Dalton Bleck, I do believe. We got a few more to go. Dalton Bleck is on screen.
All right, Dalton Bleak.
So we do have 3 different classes. We have the youth stock, which is a fairly stock. Then we have youth limited, and then the youth modified. And the difference between the limited and the modified is just a few of the way you can do the engine. In limited, you have to run the OEM bore. You can do a little bit bigger and modified, and then there's actually a lot of rules to it.
Yeah, if you go on our website, you can look at the rule book. And
there's a lot of carburetor, exhaust, electrical. There's just a lot of different. It gets a little busy in the rules for the 170s.
All right. So just now taking that checkered flag, Dalton Bleak with a 2:11.012, putting Dalton in that number 4 spot for our UTV 170 modified class. I'm sorry, that was our UTV stock class.
Yeah, up next is the UTV 170 modified. We have Indigo Bartley, Wyatt Cotter, Caden Gamble, Maggie Flores, and Dom Allegri.
All right, we do have our first taker of the green flag just now going out, I believe, and I think that was Wyatt Cotter. Yes, it was the 212.
Of Wyatt Cotter out of NORCAL, California, with Cotter Boys Racing, part of the modified class, and his Polaris with Hoosier Tires West, Benz Asphalt, Gates G-Force, DROW Off-Road, Liquimoly, Anti-Gravity Batteries, Rugged Radios, Speed Strap, Langston Motorsports, CMI, All-Terrain Concepts, Roll Design, Elka, ORW, Branch Engineering, and Hanson's Welding. He got first at King of Hammers this year in the modified class, and he was the class champion at UTV Worlds, the Mint, and the side-by-side World Finals. So he's done a little bit of everything and has been a huge success at such a young age.
Yes, and you can hear the difference in the engines. You can see the difference in the speed. These kids are definitely going to have probably about a 10-second faster time, if I had to guess, on their qualifying run over the stock and the limited class.
Up next, taking the green flag, is Dom Allegri, number 1949 out of Scotts Valley, California, with Cowboys and Kilos, part of the modified class. And his Polaris with Maxxis, DWT, and Walker Evans. He got third at King of the Hammers this year in the limited.
All right, Wyatt Cotter on the big screen, and we do have Allegri in the smaller screen, so awesome to see that picture-in-picture, getting him all the action on the race course here. But Wyatt Cotter coming through with a 1:39.22. I was thinking maybe a 10-second faster, but man, that's 25 seconds faster than our stock class and our limited class. So awesome job by Wyatt Cotter.
And now we have Dom Allegri still clicking away as he's making his way around, just bypassing the Brannick boulders, but still gets to hit the king kicker.
All right, so far, Wyatt Cotter with that fastest time of our kiddos at a 1:39.22. We'll see if any of these other kids that have been racing as well for quite a while either get close to that number or beat him. Like we always say, it's either a target on your back or you're chasing it.
Yeah, tortoise in the hare.
Yes, exactly.
And speaking about that, I think the one that's got the biggest target on his back right now is Cade Rod. He has won 2 races back-to-back, and he's definitely a heavy hitter. But speaking of heavy hitters, we got all of them here this weekend.
Yeah, he is definitely on a roll here for sure, but if I had to guess, it's going to, I don't know, we have too many heavy hitters that race here all the time to even guess which one is going to get to my fastest time that I kind of think, but it's going to be interesting to see when we get into that 4400 class.
And off the line now is Caden Gamble, number 26, out of Tierras, New Mexico, with Bomb Tech Racing, part of the modified class, and a Goodall Motorsports single-seat Polaris, Ultimax belts, and anti-gravity batteries. And they put a brand new engine in this car earlier this week, so great to see them get it together. His first King of the Hammers race was 2023. He got second this year at King of the Hammers. He races USAC quarters NASCAR midgets and does the Rubik's Cube, and he does a lot of competitions with that. And the only way I'm good at Rubik's Cubes is with spray paint.
And also, Miles, he was out there with you guys. You were out there. All the heavy hitters were out there last night at go-karts, and he was out there racing with you guys.
He was actually in my heat. We got to run around with him. It was a lot of fun. So he was out there racing. He was so stoked after the race to be racing with Paul Wolf and all the big dogs.
Well, who wouldn't be? I mean, I didn't. I wasn't out with you guys. I was later into the game, but so much fun to see the kids out there racing. But Maggie Flores coming through. She is a 201575. So Maggie Flores.
Out of Houston, Texas, with Maggie Flores Racing with a great run.
All right, so she's sitting in that number 3 spot right now.
As Caden Gamble bypassing Monster Alley. He'll be grabbing the checkered flag there at the METALCLOAK start-finish here in about 5 seconds.
All right, he's going to be very, very close in time with Dom Allegri and Wyatt Cotter. So that puts him at a 138. Caden Gamble, literally, he's at a 138.051, sitting in that number 2 spot. Dom Allegri at a 138.595.
Great run by all those young guys and gals. So I do believe the Youth 170 is done racing, so that means up next is the 4800 Legends class. So the 4400 the 4400 Unlimited class should start staging here in the next 5 minutes or so.
All right, this is a stacked field as well. We have 20 cars registered for this next.
I think we have about 20 in 4800 and about 20 in the 4400.
Yeah, there's 20 that should be taking the green flag today in qualifying. But like you said, Miles, they don't have to qualify. They can take it.
I would qualify, especially on a short course, but obviously if the car is healthy.
All right. Let's see here. One of one. All right, here we are. Look who's going to be first out, Mr. Cole Clark.
We saw him earlier in his UTV, and he's back for redemption. And I'll bet you as he turns into the Brannick Boulders, his mind's going to be busy, trying not to tip this one over as well.
Yeah, and Cole is one of those that's very, very competitive in any time he gets in a race car. So that definitely probably was devastating for him. He's probably kicking himself for that one. But like you just said, he's probably going to take that corner just a little bit different because that's where we've seen the rollovers happening. Or you see Mr. Chris Elrod making sure all is clear. It looks like they're throwing some water down back there by the PCI Gunite. We have Kevin Condon. He just registered with us yesterday. It looks like he'll be going out after Cole Clark, setting in that number 2 spot in staging. But yes, we do. We have 20 4800s. And then we have 40 in the 4400s. We have 19 vehicles that will be taking the green flag for qualifying.
That's going to be some great action all weekend long on this 1.5 mile qualifier for the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede here at the Prairie City SVRA, just outside of Rancho Cordova. They're doing a little bit of track maintenance. They got to reopen the rest of the track to where the 170s cut off. Got to open it back up, get our course workers back in their spots, and we should be live racing here in quite a while. Now, thanks again to everybody tuning in for this amazing day of qualifying. So make sure you get your schedule fixed for tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. PST. We'll be live racing, I'm going to guess, just shy of 12 hours.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day out here. It'll be cooler in the morning like we were talking about. It's going to be awesome to have the cooler weather in the morning, but the whole entire day packed. Lots of seat time like we were talking about also earlier on. But right now it's all about finishing up this track prep and getting these 4800s on course. Cole Clark right there, putting that target right on his back, being the first out for the 20 vehicles stacked field for our 4800s.
And this gets everything set up for their prelim race. We will split them in half and do 2 prelims tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, we'll ship all the cars that are still left running for their main event.
Yes, and if you don't know what the schedule is, you can go on our website of ultra4usa.com, or you can go on our Facebook page and you can look at it on there as well. Take a screenshot of it, put it in your favorites. But Cole Clark in the number 24 taking the green flag.
Out of Cortez, Colorado, with J4 Racing in that 2020 Jimmy's 48P chassis with an LS3 Turbo 400 Atlas, Bilstein shocks, Nitto tires, and Vision wheels. He's doing a little double duty this weekend. We saw him take a tumble in his UTV qualifier earlier, so we'll see how he can fare out here in the 4800 Legends class.
And Badlands was his first time in this car, correct?
Yeah, this is only his second time ever racing this car.
I mean, seat time is seat time, stepping up his game and going into another class as well. Pretty cool to see. I love seeing the drivers that do cross over into different classes as well, because, I mean, each car drives differently, but to get that seat time under your belt, no matter what vehicle you're in, is always key. And look at that little donkey kick right there.
Yeah. Well, if you hit it just fast enough, they're all about launching the same right there. So it's going to be interesting to see as he's getting ready to drop down the PCI Gunite section. This has been exciting in the past, but man, it looks so smooth today as they're just blipping right on down through.
Shh, don't say that too loud. Jeremy will go get on the dozer and move those rocks around.
Well,
excavator.
They're sprayed in with gunite, so it'd be hard to move that.
Oh, that's true. He might go add some.
Well, there you go. As Cole Clark getting ready to hit the Cole Clark corner, we'll see how he does. Keeps her on all fours.
All right, and Kevin Condon has taken the green flag as well, but right now Cole Clark going through the Brannick boulders.
So Kevin Condon out of Santa Rosa, California with KC Motorsports and that 22 Jimmy's 48P chassis with a Grom Racing LS 427 with almost 700 horsepower. He's got a maximum turbo 400 SCS, KC Home Services, Yokohama, Yukon, Total Race Solutions, Vision, Warren, Factor 55, PRP, and Rugged. His first Ultra 4 race was King of the Hammers 2021 as Cole Clark clears the Monster Alley.
All right, he was bouncing his way through there pretty quickly, but we can definitely see how rough it is. But Cole Clark coming through, taking the checkered flag. Let's see, he's going to be about a 2:10.964.
So that's the fastest of the big cars, obviously.
All right, so here we are with Kevin Condon on course, Cole Clark in that number 1 spot.
And a special guest here in the booth, we have Bailey Cole. How you doing, buddy?
Another day in paradise out here.
Oh, it's been a great day. We're just seeing the qualifying. You had a great qualifying run. You were pole in your class, correct?
I think so.
I'd have to go back and look, but I believe so.
Yeah, we just went out there, tried to be nice and smooth, and Bronco made it look like I don't know what I was doing.
The number 4 of Travis Riley off the line out of Auburn, California with Rough Stuff Racing. But yeah, let's talk about the course a little bit. It was fast, it was fun, but those rock sections are legit, aren't they?
So that left line Kevin just did is actually super gnarly. There's a really big hole that if you hit it, it gets sporty, and he just bounced right through it.
Well, a lot of people have actually been taking that left line. We've seen a couple go right, closer right on the K-rail, but it looked a lot rougher on the right-hand side compared to what he just did. But did you go out and walk the rocks to see what you were going to take?
And blows through there. It's a little slick out there after the water truck comes through.
Oh, man, it was. So I hit
and maybe he's got some steering issues or something. I don't know what's going on. Tough luck for Condon.
Well, he's making it. Well, he just actually bypassed him.
In the driver's meeting, they said if you bypass the rocks, this is basically a DNF. So he's definitely got some steering issues.
Definitely lost steering.
Tough luck for Kevin Condon. He's all over the place.
I mean, yeah, he did bypass that, like you were just saying.
He's going to hit the K-rail. Saves it.
Going through the rocks like he did, they can, hitting those rocks or something can go in and mess up your steering rack for sure.
100%.
And that's probably exactly what he did, because over those Bronco boulders, and you were saying the left line was the tougher line. But here we do have the number 4, Travis Riley, making his right-hand turn over in the Brannick boulders.
Let's give us your run through here.
So I like to start a little right, but there was a really nice big rock that got kicked up right there.
So your line got a little moved on
Got a little moved, and then I like to stay a little bit more right than him and come out to the left. If you stay right at the end, it's really big, gnarly undercut rocks.
So you kind of cross it, basically. All right, taking the green flag just now is the next one out on course, the 4869 of Chuck Crossland.
Good old Chucky.
Oh, yeah, out of Los Molinas, California, with Crossland Off-Road Racing in that Liberty Mountain Fab chassis with a Brian Tooley twin-turbo LS 6-liter with 1,150 horsepower.
From my understanding, the most horsepower in Ultra 4.
I really think it is, yep. That's... In my notes, it is.
Does anybody really talk about the horsepower?
Oh, everybody does.
I know.
I mean, everybody talks about it.
Is it the fish story, though? That's
he's got a lot. He's got a lot under the hood.
He really does have a big fish.
I do understand that he does, but I'm like, the fish stories. Who has more horsepower? But here he's showing it right there.
And let's talk about this little roller section. It's kind of like an either or. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, so that section's really fun because you have the left and the right line. The left is spaced out a little bit more, so you can carry a little more speed. But if you get the right line just right, you're the inside of the turn, and you get a little bit drag coming out of that corner.
Huh.
And then talk about the gunite section. Normally it looks a little tougher, but everybody's just basically jumping down. It looks smooth, but it's not smooth, is it?
No, it is very far from smooth, but I think these cars are just getting to the point, and we've raced this course I don't even know how many times now. I think we're all getting that really smooth line and sending it off.
Yeah, basically they're just skipping over most of it, right?
That corner, that left hand he just went through is fun too, because there's a little kicker on the inside that it gets a little sporty, and now he's back into the trial rock section.
All right, taking the green flag just now is the 4812 of Jacob Pacheco.
Out of San Martin, California, with VP Racing in his Trent Fab chassis with an LSX, 630 horsepower, Turbo 400, Atlas, Spider Tracks, Fox, Alltech, Mickey Thompson, Raceline, and Rugged.
All right, Chuck Crossland's getting ready to come through here shortly. Is one more rock section to go through before he takes the checkered flag, but he's got a great run going on.
2 more turns and 1 more rock section.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were hoping to see you in this class, but the car, it sounds like, didn't quite come together. But I was excited when I heard the rumor you might be racing with us.
We were going. It just a couple things fell apart right at the end. But Chucky is on a mission right now.
He doesn't have the top time because right now Cole Clark has that at a 2:10.964. But Chuck Crossland coming through right now, sitting in the number 2 spot at a 2:16.247.
That is really quick.
It is quick. So let's ask you this question, because Miles has his mark of the fastest time of the day overall. I think a 152 is going to happen.
I call it a 2-minute flat. And the fastest right now is Paul Wolf with a 2:03. So I think a 4400 can get right around that 2, maybe sub 2.
And then I'm thinking, if the worst, I'm sticking with 152, but I'm thinking 155, 157 would be more reality.
157.27 is my guess.
Oh, you're going down to the second, huh?
I'm writing it down.
I call it just by the minute.
Okay.
So you can do whatever you want.
All right, Jacob Pacheco making his way through the Brannick boulders, and here we do have our next taker, the 1006 of Derek Summers.
Out of Santa Cruz, California, with Summers Racing in his Jimmy's chassis with a Jeff Ginter LS 427, 700 horsepower, a Gearworks Turbo 400, SCST case, Ultra wheels, again Fabworks, Professional Touch Auto Body, and Perfect Power. His first King of the Hammers was way back in 2010. He's been racing with us for a very long time.
So he actually used to race stock class, and I watched the back end of his car. It's actually the car Megan is currently racing out here, Megan Miller.
Oh,
yeah, because it went from him to
Dawson
Allington to Megan Miller. Great to see.
All right.
So he's very fast and very consistent.
Jacob Pacheco just made his way through at the checkered flag. We'll get his time here in just a moment. All right, this is a stacked field. There are 20 cars out here.
Is that the biggest class right now?
Yeah, 20 cars. Yep, 4400 is 19, so not too far out.
Nope, right there.
Yeah, there's Derek Summers making it down the PCI Gunite section.
And it's funny, the level of competition in the Legends classes only seems like it's stepped up and stepped up.
100%. I remember it was, takes that cover a little early.
That's that little kicker I was talking about on the inside. If you cut it a little too tight, it gets a little sporty like that.
It bites you a little bit.
That's what I was talking about earlier. It's kind of like, I know this is short course, but like more like Pro 4, Pro 2 style, where you have to set up for that turn if you're taking it too far on the inside.
100%.
And off the line next is Andrew Gorman, number 4853 out of Bell Canyon, California, with locked and loaded in his Jimmy's chassis with an LS7, Magnum Turbo 400, Atlas, Nitto tires, Raceline wheels, King, lithographic, rock solid rig. He started racing Ultra 4 in 2014, and he does a lot of our printing at King of the Hammers. So a huge shout out to Andrew Gorman for helping us out so much in our sport.
He also made some changes to that Jimmy's car. He said he lowered it a bit, but he was still feeling out. He felt like it was a little tipsy on him. So we'll see how it goes in this race. But he said he was liking it.
He does seem like he sits up quite high on that. So, but Derek Summers coming through, taking his checkered flag.
Took over.
About lost it after that, but saved her.
Yeah.
And we got another bicycle out on course.
Right.
Gorman was able to save it. But yeah, Derek Summers just moves into second position with a 214.2. So
great run.
2 bicycles about the same time there, Bailey.
All right, so
yeah,
let's
that
see
gunite section's just looking like a smooth down.
I'm telling you, I
can tell you in the car, it is not a smooth down.
It's not smooth, but the video never does it justice. But watching it, it's like, it's not even there.
It's kind of like that gap jump, you know? There's nothing there, right?
That
unless
gap
it is.
jump is huge. When they first built it the other day, when I went over and looked at it, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Andrew has a little blue smoke coming out of his car, too.
Oh, that's not good. Looks like a suspension issue maybe going on, too, on that front left.
Off the line next is Johnny Valadez out of Aguadulce, Dulce, California, with Telemetry Motorsports in that bomber car with an LS3 with a Power Glide, Atlas, Trail Ready, Mickey Thompson, North-South Machinery, Ratflow, Optima, Amsoil, East Coast Gear, All-Terrain Concepts, EDM Performance, and Technical Manufacturing West. He started racing with us last year at King of the Hammers.
And that's a super fun family, too. His daughter was in the 170 as well, right?
Yep. Son, Hunter Valadez.
Hunter.
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
All right.
As Gorman's making his way into the Monster Alley. I saw the little puff of smoke earlier. I don't see anything too much now, so hopefully he's all right. But definitely worth checking out later in the pits. He's teamed up with Derek Summers, so they'll be all hands on deck tonight checking it out.
That car does look like it's leaning quite a bit.
Yeah, suspension's a little off. So, it looks like that right front shock's collapsed a little bit. So he probably blew the shock out. But good thing King is on site, so they'll probably help him out this evening.
All right, now as we go back to Johnny Valadez on screen and the number 1717. But Cole Clark still sitting in that number 1 spot right now with a 210.964 with Derek Summers in the number 2 spot at a 214.200. All right, we have another one taking the green flag, the 4811 of Trent Roberts.
Out of Clarksburg, California, with TWC Racing.
Trent just launched it.
Yeah, he did.
With his goat-built IBX chassis with a supercharged LQ4, 700 horsepower, Turbo 400, Atlas, Yukon, Vision, Mickey Thompson, Alltech, Warn, Factor 55, and Rugged. And Bailey, we were talking the other day that horsepower. I remember when 400 to 500 horsepower was pretty decent,
pretty healthy.
And now it seems like 700 is almost the average.
Yeah,
isn't that wild?
It is. It's just crazy the arms race that we've kind of come to. Now we're even the Legends cars are like if you're not pushing 750, you're kind of
especially on a short course track. Looks like we should get a time for Johnny Valadez here in just a moment.
I mean, I know Woody Rose is pushing that 750 right now. Brown is right up there.
Look at this onboard with Trent Roberts. They snuck that one in on me. That's pretty cool to see.
That is looking good.
Yeah, that shows you how rough it actually is and how busy his hands are on the wheel and the shifter. Oh, this is that little rhythm section.
I like his hands, too. He's keeping it nice and smooth in there.
And it looks like Josh Bocci is off the line out of Orange Valley, California with Havoc Racing. So Trent Roberts heading into the Brannick Boulders. And this will show you how actually rough it is. Just banging and beating, throws her into first gear and just taking a beat.
There you go.
He's on that left line. We don't know. as he hucks it into the king kicker.
So that's actually the roughest jump on the course.
Okay, because it's just kind of a ski jump.
Yeah, because you launch, and no matter what you do, whether it's slow or fast, you land to flat.
Yeah, as he heads into the Monster Alley, and he's making quick work through those. Ooh, moves that huge rock with his front pinion. Does a little wheel stand. Look
there
at
it
that.
is.
Yes, great catch to take it live in our whole production company. So Trent Roberts just takes the lead away from Cole Clark by 0.02 of a second. It's a 2:10.942 and a 2:10.964. So wow, that's a
close
200s.
One of those,
yeah. That was closest.
Yeah, you had me fooled.
And there's Bashi right now heading through. He's going to take that hard 180 turn. We've seen a couple little flops right there because you kind of come in a little hot and just grab that traction. Oh, there's Tony Howard, I believe. Tony Howard, the number 4805 out of Sacramento, California, with Bad Rap Racing with his Liberty Mountain Fab Safecraft LS3 Alpha Vehicle Accessories, BFG King, and he just had a brand new baby boy just a few weeks ago.
Next generation racer.
Absolutely. Great to see Tony Howard out here racing with us. He's just a true sportsman of Ultra 4.
Is that the old...
that's Bashi right there.
Waterbury car as well?
That's a great question. I'm usually pretty good about this, and I'm drawing a blank. That car's been around for a while. I know both Bocce brothers race with us, but it's just Josh racing with us this weekend.
Jumped down the gunite section.
Just launching down it.
On a mission.
There is action all over this course. Looks like Kevin Condon is getting towed off the race course. Oh,
that is Brown.
Oh, Jeremy Brown taking off. The number 50 out of Rio Linda, California with Brown's Motorsports. He's in a Trent Fab chassis with a Mass Motorsports LS 463 with 750 horsepower, ATO Super 80 transmission, Atlas, Sierra Gear and Axle, the Grateful Ones MC Club, Mickey Thompson, Brown's Heating and Air, Warren, Rock and Road Performance, Nacho Lights, Gower Construction, and Pioneer Feed and Pet Supply. He's been racing King and Hammer since 2017, and he races NORCAL quite a bit.
So I've had the pleasure of racing a lot of cars, and that's still my favorite car I've ever gotten to drive.
Oh, you actually drove Brown's car, huh? I know you've driven a lot of the Trent Fab cars, but that's a fun one.
So that's the one I actually won the couple championships in.
Okay, I thought that was the DSI car. That was a different
That
one.
Was that car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It passed around. Okay.
Yep.
So he bought that from Dave. All right.
No, so that car got sold to the Heralds, and then the Harold got his new car, his new Legends car, and then Brown picked up that car.
Nice, yeah.
Well, Toby Stacy.
Right. Toby Stacy, and then Toby Stacy sold
to
it.
Brown.
Yeah. So it's been
passed around a little bit.
But that just goes to show you how well built these cars off. Oh, somebody was off course in just a moment.
Oh, that's Brown.
Oh, it looked like a little
fire.
bit of fire in the front. Tough break for him. Let's get him out and get some safety crew up there.
Looks like safety crew's already there.
They were on it.
That's what we were talking about earlier on with so
Fire
many.
is out. Everybody is A-OK. Lots of chatter over the PCI race radios. Fire is out.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. We have safety all over the race course, which is key to have, and everybody has all of the equipment needed for issues that happen like that. All right, Tony Howard there. Let's see here.
And it looks like we do have the 4400 that should be heading to staging right now. 4400 class is heading to staging.
Again, thank you everybody for tuning in and watching the races, the qualifying going on right now. If you are wanting to see the timing live as well, you can do that on live.ultra4racing.com. You can see exactly what we are watching here on our end. It'll tell you the live timing, like I said, exactly what we're watching.
So I don't know if you guys saw it much, but as you come through the start-finish, you have the nice little gap jump.
The METALCLOAK gap jump.
The METALCLOAK gap
I love
jump.
it.
And then right after, as they've been watering the track, that right-hander is actually
getting a little
really
slick,
hard to make.
isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe
especially if you carry up a little speed.
Maybe they'll quit throwing some water down right there for a little bit if it's getting a little bit slippery. But I stepped away for just a moment, and I'm coming back, and I just realized that Trent Roberts has the #1 qualifying time by barely.
Yep.
A 2:10.942, and Cole Clark had a 2:10.964.
Yep.
Wow.
0.02 of a second.
It's insane.
Well, Bailey, we've been talking about going to Apex last night at the Red Hot Casino. How much fun was that?
Super, super fun.
Yeah, so I was able to talk a little bit of smack because I won my heat race. But at the end of the night, you had the fastest lap out of Ultra 4, buddy. That was a lot of fun.
It was super, super fun.
But I can say I won my race, so I keep that's okay. I didn't say
that's
I won
what matters,
the
right?
race. I said I won my
your race. Yeah.
But again, it was so much fun out there talking a little smack with everybody.
No, it was super fun. I won my prelim, and then we had a second race, and actually Travis Riley got me, I believe.
Oh, okay.
In that
I thought
second race.
but in the main, I think
in the main, I think I edged him out by just a little bit.
But there was a young little fellow that came and scooted us all. He was like 15. He showed up, had his own race suit, his own seat, and put on a clinic to all of us.
He did.
But again, the racing was fun, but just hanging out with everybody and talking stories and enjoying the Red Hot Casino, man, that was a great time.
It was so much fun.
You guys went golfing?
Yeah, we were swinging golf clubs, having a good time. You know, it reminded me of like back in the Utah days.
Yeah. I never went to that one.
Okay.
Yeah, but it reminds me of kind of the Reno days.
Yes.
So
and
it's kind of the same principle.
Everybody hanging out, having a good time. That's kind of what the sport's built on.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, it was built with 13 guys racing for a six-pack of beer back in the day.
100%.
And it's morphed into this. It's amazing. Yeah. A whole industry.
Yes. And the cool part is, I mean, I've been walking around the pits all day and making new friends and hanging out, and it's why the sport's so amazing.
Oh, that's how I got into this, is just walking around, talking to everybody, having fun, and catching up with old friends, and always make a new friend or two.
Well, and it's all one big family. We always talk about this. You know, it's a big family sport out here, and everybody becomes like family to each other as well.
Megan and I were talking to Callan right before qualifying, and he was like, I don't know if I want to qualify. I don't know if we can do the gap jump. And I was like, you got it. And he was a little hesitant.
And the little Suzuki,
And the Suzuki. And then he just sent it. And we went to his pit afterwards, and he was high-fiving, all excited.
Yeah.
It was good.
Sometimes they need that pep pop talk, right? The pep talk of, you can do it, you've got this. You know, I was actually, when I just stepped out for a second, I ran into Tice Healy, and I was like, hey, Tice, you know, you should come up and talk to Miles and I. And he's got a little bit shy, and I'm like, give us some thought. Come up here. You know, even just getting up here and chatting about what he thought as a, 12-year-old?
Yeah, 12. Just turned 12.
And Lauren's co-driving for him. It's just cool to get the perspective from the younger generation as well, of what they thought about the race course. So we'll see if we can get him up here tomorrow.
Did they go through yet?
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
How did he do?
Yeah, well, there's only two of them. And one didn't qualify, so he's on the pole.
Okay. Did he do the gap jump?
No.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I should have paid attention. I missed that.
Well,
Because he was a little nervous this morning, too, but he had it for sure.
Maybe somebody can come over and remind us of that, because I don't remember myself.
But yeah, Tice Healy is on pole for the Youth 1K.
That is a really cool program, everybody.
Really, you know, because the 170s are
racing.
awesome, but then at 12 years old, you have to actually race real race car drivers like Paul Wolf, Travis Solinger. So it's just a great little gap that they came up with, and you know,
and still safe because they have their parent or guardian in the passenger seat with them.
So obviously at short course races with Ultra 4, we do not have co-drivers except for Youth 1K, and I love that they still allow that.
Yeah.
So we have the 4802 of Ross Glaive out of Redding, California, with Nexen Tire Racing in his new brand new Liberty Mountain Fab chassis with a Golden Engines LSX 454. It's got over 700 horsepower. ATO Turbo 400, Atlas, Nexen tires, Warn, Raceline, Rough Stuff, TMR, Nacho lights, Trail Gear, Flex Point, Off-Road, Torque Oil, Holley-FI, and Coyote inner liners. He started racing EMC back in 2014 and keeps on trucking.
Ross has been a part of it for a very long time.
Yeah, 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And he usually comes to Hammers and stuff and doesn't even have a crew.
He just goes out and does it.
He's got the grit, that's for sure. But again, with the Ultra 4 family, he knows that somebody will be there to pitch in a hand if he needs it.
Well, and I'm going to talk about this for a minute, because working over in registration, a lot of these drivers, you have to have a spotter in short course, right? Well, he's like, I don't come with a crew. I don't have a spotter. I'm like, this is one big family. Go ask one of the other racers.
Get on Rocksport Insiders
Yep.
and put it out there. I'm looking for a spotter, or walk through the pit. Somebody will be out there to help you.
He ended up, I believe the person that came with him that ended up doing it, but it was pretty cool though. You know, you got to think about it, and you think about the family and helping each other out. He'll literally comes the King of the Hammers, and he'll come into a remote pit, and just whatever pit he pulls into, they help him. And I love that.
We just saw him heading down the PCI gunite section, and he took a little bit slower and showed you how rough it actually is, and off like a rocket.
22 of Mr. Woody Rose.
Out of Sparks, Nevada, with Trent Fabrication Racing in his Trent Fab top shelf chassis with an LS 454, 750 horsepower, ATO Turbo 400, Atlas, Nexon, Raceline, Yukon, Brannick, FK, Mika Moltners, and Warn Racing.
And he actually got a new little spicy motor in there right before
Oh, that's
this
a
race.
hot rod, huh? I asked him if he had anything new, and he said not much, so he was hiding that from me.
Okay. Keeping it quiet.
Well, it wasn't quiet when he took off the line.
No, it wasn't.
And you and Woody have had some absolute epic battles back in the day, so that's what I was hoping to relive, but I wish you would have got that car ready. So it wasn't you, but...
I think we're going to do that battle at Crandon.
All right,
nice.
all right. I like to hear
Little
that.
teaser. Oh my gosh, Woody is fully sending it up that jump.
The Gomez...
Did he do any donkey
Jump.
kicks, or was it a solid landing?
It sends
It
a little
looked
ass
pretty
high
sick.
every time.
I
Yeah.
didn't see it on that. I was watching Ross go through the Monster Alley.
So we'll get a time for Ross Clave. Again, go to live.ultra4racing.com for the same live timing we have here in the METALCLOAK studio.
All right, Ross Glave just came through. He's sitting in the number 9 position at a 2:31.502. And again, these are live timing.
Woody is on fire.
He is smoking. So
I looked. I thought you were serious about fire.
And fastest time of the day thus far is Paul Wolf with a 2:03.
Wow.
So it looks like Brent, the Iceman Harrell, number 56, out of Almsville, Oregon, with team change order. With his 22 Horschel chassis with a Ford clip up front, a Danzio LS7 with 710 horsepower. Turbo 400, SCS, Rigid, TubeWorks, Nitto, Fox, Obstacle, Max Tie-Downs, Brett Schmidt Trucking, Warren, and Factor 55. He won the Nitto Nationals back in 2020. He's got some great stuff under his belt.
Has Woody been going to drifting school or what? Because he just
He
did
is.
that perfect.
It was fantastic.
All right, Woody Rose just now coming through and taking the pole at a 2:03.738.
Wow, just barely slower than Paul Wolf in a UTV. But what a great run by Mr. Woody Rose.
Yeah, Woody Rose is definitely on it every time he's out on course, and amazing run by him, taking over that number 1 spot from Trent Roberts.
And Brent Harrell running strong out back with his dad Brett Harrell running later on today.
Yeah, Brett's actually standing right down here below our tower watching.
That is a really,
I
really
think that's him
well-built
right there.
Horschel car.
Oh, that thing's an absolute work of art. That's probably one of the nicest cars in the 4800 class.
It's honestly probably one of the nicest cars in the field.
It's a great looking car, and he's a great driver too. It'll be definitely a great battle between him, Woody, Trent, and Cole. It's gonna be a fun one.
Yep, they normally all throw down pretty hard.
And the 4850 of Daniel Gittenberg has taken the green flag for his qualifying run.
He's out of Orangevale, California, with Gittenberg Racing and Fabrication. And
Woody Rose did a 2:03.
Yeah, just a half a second off of Paul Wolf's fast time. He was on fire. We shouldn't be saying on fire. He had a great run.
He had a great run.
But look at Brent Harrell. Look at his run is
Also
amazing as
drift
well.
school.
He'll
Seriously.
be a little bit off the time of Woody, but it's definitely
That's
top
second.
two.
Number 2.
Number 2, 2:09.630. So great run as well by Brent.
So remember, tomorrow we'll have 2 separate prelims. We'll cut the field in half and run 2 separate races, but then the main will be all mixed into one.
So if the positions stay here, we won't get that Woody and Brent final until the actual final.
Until the finals, yeah, because there'll be pole position in each prelim.
Yep.
But we'll see. We still got some more qualifiers to go.
All right, who is it we have it on course right now? We have Daniel out there running still. And Gutenberg, and then let's see who's taking that green flag. It looks like it is the 747 of Chad Jesse.
Maverick, we call him, out of New River, Arizona, with Slingin' Motorsports in his Jimmy's 4x4 chassis with a Grom Racing LS3 427 with 800 horsepower. He's got a Turbo 400, an Atlas, Raceline wheels, AccuTune suspension, Slang & Sound intent, and Total Racing Solutions. His first King of the Hammers was back in 2020.
All right, let's see what his time is going to be. Got a few more turns and rock sections to go through. I don't see Austin Thompson out there in line. I'm not sure if he's
that's
qualifying.
A good catch, Pam. I definitely saw him here.
And did Josh Boschi go?
Yep, Boschi went. Yeah, I didn't see Austin Thompson. I haven't seen Adam Dixon or Luke Camp.
All right.
That car sounded healthy.
Yeah, it sounded great. Guttenberg was really on the throttle.
Came through in the 11th position with a 2:25.059.
So up next, we may have another 4,800 car or two, but the 4,400 cars are lining up, and they'll be taking off here in just a little bit.
Chad absolutely sent it down the gunite. It looks smooth.
I'm telling you, it seems like the METALCLOAK gap and the gunite section, the faster you hit it, the smoother it looks.
All right, and taking the green flag is the 584 of Adam Dixon.
You saw his son running early, but Adam Dixon out of Santa Cruz, California, with Dixon Racing in his Jimmy Spec car with a Hemi in it, ATO Turbo 400, Atlas, Spider Tracks, Fox AccuTune, Maxxis, ProComp, and rugged race radios.
Oh, no!
A huge rollover after the finish line for Chad Jesse. So his time will count, but he took a huge roll. But it looks like that Jimmy's car took it pretty good.
Qualified 6th in class and then had a nice little toss right at the end there.
What a great run he had. And, hey, he left it all out on the line and bit him at the last little second. So Adam Dixon is out on course.
That's one thing. As you're coming through there, you're on the pipe, and then after you get through the finish line, you have to check up. And if you check up while you're still in that corner, it can get sideways pretty quick.
Oh, yeah. Well, Bailey, it's been a great run up here. Thanks for joining me up here in the METALCLOAK studio. It's always fun, a pleasure, and congratulations on getting those 7 extra points for getting that pole set.
Thank you. See you guys soon.
All right. Thanks, Bailey. And we have another guest we're going to bring in the studio here in just a moment. I'm going to leave this one a little bit of a surprise.
All right, we have, a little bit off course just now.
As Adam Dixon still pushing strong as he heads into the Monster Alley. These guys and gals are leaving it all out on the line, giving it absolutely everything during the qualifying run on this 1.5-mile course here for the METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede.
All right, let's see what his time is going to be. The 584 of Adam Dixon coming through with a number 8 position with a 2:16.266. So let's go through our line here. We have Woody Rose in the number 22 in that number 1 spot with a 2:03.738.
In second spot is Brent Harrell with a 2:09.630.
In the number 3 position, the 4811 of Trent Roberts with a 2:10.942.
And that 4 spot, Mr. Cole Clark with a 2:10.964.
And in that 5th position, the 1006 of Derek Summers with a 2:14.200.
And number 6 spot is Chad Jesse with a 2:14.
Man, that's great because at the end he went out with a show, right? All right.
But
so
now we're switching over our timing to the 4400. This is going to be a great show.
All right.
So we're going to show you a quick replay here in just a moment of, I believe that was Chad Jesse that just took a tumble. And here we are. Just gets a little slideways and it catches a little bit.
I mean, he literally did that right at the finish line. Talk about going out with a bang on your qualifying run.
So talking about that special guest, we have Mr. John Goodby.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm doing good. How you doing,
I'm
buddy?
good, man. You know, got out of the Jeep and the AC, got a little heat going.
It's hot up
Trying
here,
to get a sunburn, yeah.
I just love giving you a hard time.
I know.
But it's a good time. But you do leave about everything you own run. It runs all day.
Oh, yeah, we get idles per gallon. That's what we go for. Yeah, most
but
of the
no,
time.
It's been a great time, and this is your home field, your home track. It's been such a great time, and it's just qualifying day. It's only going to get bigger and better.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. We had a great pre-sale tickets for tomorrow. I think the Spectator is going to roll in here strong, and we know the guys are going to put a show on because that's what they do for us.
Yeah, and speaking about Spectator, this is probably one of the most spectator-friendly parks we go to. I mean, you can see probably 80, maybe even 90% of the track from any spot out here.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Spectator Hill's huge, and we call it Spectator Hill for a reason. So, if you're standing on that point, you can actually catch the finger and everything. You pretty much cover the whole track. But, yeah, like you said, 90% coverage pretty much anywhere.
So, I just want to say thanks from everybody for taking on Ultra 4 once again. And you've been around here for a very long time and taking the reins. It's been a good time working with you, buddy.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's been a good time. It's I think we got some good momentum going, and I'm really looking forward to finishing 24 strong. And 25, I think, is going to be record-breaking.
I think it's going to be a good time, absolutely. Do you have any tricks up your sleeve going into 25?
Oh, man, we're just trying to look for locations and try some new stuff, some old stuff, and a good mixture of everything.
And you were just talking about 4,400. We're going to keep it to just one car at a time. We aren't going to send another car out?
Yeah, so we're going to run one car at a time. That way we can cover their whole lap and kind of get all the footage. I know we're missing parts and a lot of action going on, so we'll let these guys hang it out there and try to cover the whole lap for you guys, and you can check it out.
Yeah,
we're not missing anything.
Yeah, these are the biggest and baddest names in our sport. So if you need to take any kind of break, I'd do it quick. Go reset, grab a couple extra drinks, grab some snacks. The party is about to get started. Unlimited suspension, unlimited horsepower. This is unlimited off-road at its finest.
Yeah, for sure. We have some heavy hitters here, like the 4,400 class is stacked.
I mean, all the Gomez's. Stacked. We have royalty in the house with JP, Raul, Lauren Healy, and Shannon Campbell. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you got Paul Wolf coming from the East Coast. You got K-Rod coming, just back-to-back win East Coast.
Yeah, I would say he's probably got the biggest target on his back.
Yeah, and he's laying it down. He's not scared. So. Yeah,
he hadn't lost an Ultra 4 race this season yet.
Yep, and you got the local guys. Brendan Thompson. He races here, 3 times a year. I mean, it's going to get rowdy.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, Cody Addington debuted his car here a few years back and was on the podium.
Yeah. I mean, big shoes to fill, but filling the boots for Lauren's car. That's insane. So.
And Paul Horschel, Brett Harrell. I mean, I tell you, just keep reading off the names. They're all heavy hitters.
You read the 19 guys, and like any one of them could do some damage.
Waylon Campbell had great success here last time we raced in 22. I believe he was in 3rd position.
Yeah, I think that it's definitely a toss-up. Who knows who's going to lay it down?
Oh, no. I got an update from Dolly that Shannon has low oil pressure and went home. So tough break there.
Yeah. Shannon came up to me earlier and said the motor wasn't super happy, so he was going to bow out. But we still got some Campbell blood, Waylon out there. And it's there's a lot of fast cars, a lot of very technology advanced cars, and it's going to be amazing. A lot different than we ran. We ran once since 18, but 18 was a pretty rowdy year. I think we're going to get our same show.
Yeah, I think
tomorrow.
It's going to be wild, especially side by side, and in the main event, up to 20 cars on the track at once. It's going to be busy.
Yeah, we have the LCQ set up in case we needed that, but I think they're going to unfortunately weed themselves out.
I think you're right. Yeah, and it looks like we are under green flag with Randy Burke in the 4469 out of Paradise, California, with Randy Burke Off-Road in that Jay's Mobile Fab Toyota chassis with an LQ9, Hughes Turbo 400, NWF EcoBox, Mickey Thompson tires, Dirty Life, PRP, Warren, LMK, King, Yukon, All-Terrain Concepts, and Rough Stuff. But again, it's been a great day of qualifying thus far, and we are just getting started during the 4,400. But it sounds like we are going to stop him. We did not have the course quite ready. He did a little bit of early jump on us. So Randy Burke, we will give him the yellow, send him back, and give him a rerun. Well, Goodby, your team has done an amazing job all weekend long, and it's been fun to work with the entire NorCal team because obviously when we travel out east, it's just the course crew.
Yeah.
But, man, the NorCal team's been really great, and being the home team, it's just you guys could do this with your eyes closed almost.
Yeah, I think 17 years here. So
I mean, you're doing something right.
We're getting really lucky. Yeah, Randy took off a little early when he had that water truck clear yet, so everyone needs to get their full lap and full speed with no interruptions. So we'll get them reloaded here.
And again, safety first, so all good, no worries. Just a little whoops in it, but we'll get it back. And old Ryan Miller is calling Cade Rod for a three-peat. So we'll see. He definitely has what it takes. But again, such a stacked field. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, it's gonna. I mean, I don't get to watch many races anymore, but I might actually watch the 44 Remain tomorrow.
I'd hope so.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what kind of other stuff's going on outside the fences or inside the fence, however you want to label it.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, thanks for everything you do behind the scenes, because I know you're a busy guy. Your phone rings nonstop, but you're just making it happen.
Yeah, just try to juggle what we can do and get the best races out.
And so far, so good. Yeah, thank you again to everybody for tuning into the live show. It's been a great day for the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede here at the Prairie City SVRA just outside of Rancho Cordova. The live coverage has been doing an amazing job, so thanks to Take It Live for coming on board once again. And we are ready this time for sure for Randy Burke. The 4469 out of Paradise, California with Randy Burke Off-Road Racing. He clears the METALCLOAK gap jump and takes a bicycle and is upside down. So he got a little excited early, didn't he?
Yeah, that's he pits with Chuck Crossland, so he's maybe a little overachiever, I think, sometimes.
You'll have that.
Yeah. Recovery's there.
Man, the recovery crew's on it. Obviously, the short course, you can cover it a lot easier, but, man, they've been here and done that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's all local guys, plus, the guys that fill in, and we're missing guys. Everyone wants to work Stampede. Everyone wants to work with the big boys.
Because it's fun.
Well, they get the best seat in the house, Yeah. They get free hot dogs.
All
the amenities.
They got hot dogs?
You didn't eat? I'm sorry.
No, you take care of us. I'm joking. But what a wonderful weekend it is. It's definitely hot. The breeze has tamed down a little bit, but if you're anywhere in the Sacramento area, come on out. It's going to be only $30 tomorrow to watch almost 12 hours of wide-open action. Great spectating. So, again, if you're anywhere in the Sacramento area, we're here at the Prairie City SVRA, and it's going to be a great show. But it sounds like we got another look at Randy Burke flopping her on over. He comes in a little bit hot. It's a little wet, and then just catches a dry spot and flips her on over. So a tough break for Randy Burke. He'll be taking a rear start. But it is a physical finish, so we'll see. He's definitely going to have his hands full tomorrow.
Yeah, he gets outside in that fluff out there. I mean, it's pretty hard packing. It blue grooves pretty well. And you get into that fluff and you're sliding like that, then you got to steer into it, unfortunately. He got the short end of the stick there.
But, I mean, obviously, if we didn't water, it'd be so dusty you couldn't see. So people understand it, and it's just run of the draw.
Everyone wonders what this place is like. I call it the NorCal Desert.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of everything.
It could rain 3 inches and be dusty by noon.
Yeah, we've fought the dust a few times this year, but you guys are your NorCal crews out there. You got 4 water trucks, right?
Yeah, we're running 4 water trucks.
And changing batteries.
Yeah, changing batteries.
Believe Cam, they've been doing some great shots with those FPV drones. We got Alan here with Dusty Drone flying around as well, giving you some of the best angles we can. We got 3 manned camera or staffed cameras, and then 2 drones flying around. 1 here in the METALCLOAK studio. Bring you the best Ultra 4 action we can bring you.
Man, JP, I think, is almost running in a last in a lino, it looks like.
But look at that. We got Harold Gomez, Cade Rod, Raul, Lauren Healy, Vaughn Gittin, Waylon Campbell. I mean, every name you there's Brendan Thompson.
Yeah.
A complete stacked field.
Yeah, James Mahoney.
No, James Mahoney and Faravani's old car.
He actually is leading the NorCal points right now. He's actually doing really well. Yeah, he's getting that car figured out. He's laying it down, man. He's definitely figured it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I covered it earlier, but yeah, this is an Ultra 4 USA race, but it is also for NorCal points. So your NorCal racers have to register with us at Ultra 4, and then if they want points for NorCal, you kind of do a little double dip there.
Yeah, double payouts, or double entry, double payouts, double trophies. I mean, it's all there in points, double points.
And any of our Ultra 4 racers could have done that as well.
They could have snuck in there, yeah.
I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but that's pretty cool to be able to let them both race and have some fun.
Yeah.
I don't think you didn't come with us, but you let us go check out METALCLOAK. I know you've been there before. What a cool facility that is.
Yeah, METALCLOAK's an amazing company. A lot of people don't think, or they think they're a small, Northern California company, but
I feel guilty because I thought the same. I knew they built Jeep stuff and they were great, but I just thought I didn't know what I thought. But when I walked in there, 70,000 square foot. I mean, you could eat off the floor next to the Amada CNC sheet. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, they're no joke, man. They do a lot of products. A lot of good not Johnny joints, but their joint. I don't know what their joint's called. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, that thing.
But I think some other brands use it.
Yeah. They build lots of Jeep armor. They just came out with that new shock. What's that called?
It's Rocksport Black.
Yeah, Rocksport Black. There we go.
Yep.
And they got the old school 6-pack they're building up too, and they build. I'm going to say 95% in-house, all American-made.
Yep.
I mean, they METALCLOAK and what Matt's and the team does is pretty impressive.
Yeah, they're amazing. I mean, the engineers they have, I mean, they're really amazing. They're a great partner for Ultra 4. I mean, King of the Hammers for NorCal. They've been around,
and they've been with us for, I'm going to guess, around 10 years, right?
Yeah, they've pretty much every NorCal Stampede they've sponsored.
Yeah, my first NorCal Stampede was in 2017, and Mattson was my co-host.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
That's that was my first regional race I'd ever been to. I've been to King of Hammers for quite a while, but this place is something special for me for sure.
It's like driveline or something hanging out of the bottom of that thing.
He took a tumble, and now we got the grate all out there. The forks of shame, we call it.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's in the hot pit, so we should be able to send out the next one here in just a couple minutes. Try to keep everything rolling smooth.
All right. Looks like we're in Edwin Ave.
Yeah, and we saw his son Peter run out earlier. So Randy Burke, the first one out, didn't do much. Tough break for him, but he'll still be able to race with us. So up next will be Edwin Abb out of Santa Maria, California with Abb Motorsports. And it looks like he's heading out, and he'll be hitting the throttle, heading towards the METALCLOAK gap jump. And he is off with Abb Motorsports in that Fishmouth Fab 2-seat solid axle machine with an LS3 Reed Turbo 400, Atlas, King, tuned by Liberty Mountain Fab, Rugged, Warren, Falcon, Mob Armor, South Bay Drivelines, Renegade Race Fuel, Rough Stuff, and WFO Concepts. His first Ultra 4 race was the Stampede back in 2015. So there's at least 9 years.
Yeah. I can't remember the first year. I think 15 is pretty close.
That's getting there. But you've been running NorCal for, 17 years, right?
Yeah, started in 08.
That's pretty good. As Edwin Abbs, this is a fun little roller sections. There's 2 separate lines in there. Yeah. They are opposing.
Yep.
So that's going to be interesting. And during the drivers' meeting, we were talking, and Paul Wolf asked, "Can I go left or right?" And you're like, "I don't care what you do, but let me know. I want to watch."
Yeah, if you think the risk is worth the reward, I mean, go for it, man. I don't know. That's pretty big gaps to go across.
Pretty. I wouldn't have thought of that line.
Yeah.
As Edwin Abb drops down the PCI Gunite section. So again, we're going to race only one car on the track at a time during the 4400s. These are the biggest and baddest names in our sport. These cars are the Swiss Army knives of off-road. We start out in King of the Hammers race here in NorCal. We've been to Badlands. We're about to head to Vegas to Reno. We've raced in Kentucky. We'll race in Crandon, Crossbar. We hit mountains, short course jumps, tight trees, mud, dust, desert whoops. These cars can do it all and do it all well. There's Edwin Abb coming over the King Kicker. Edwin heading towards the Monster out. Oh, a huge wheel stand out the end. He got a little throttle happy. When in doubt, throttle out, right, John?
Yeah, you see the finish line, he got excited. Everyone loves checkered flag, doesn't matter what it is, qualifying or racing. Checkered flag is always good to see.
Yeah. Ooh, a camera.
Yeah.
Let's go. And it looks like up next is going to be Brendan Thompson.
Yeah, he was actually the 2023 NorCal champ.
Yeah, the overall champion, right?
Yeah.
So heading off the line, Bam Bam, Brendan Thompson, number 5150 out of Grass Valley, California with Outcast Racing. In that 2020 UFO IFS single-seat chassis by Joe Thompson that he finished himself with an LS 490 tall block, ADO 4LEDE, SCS, Maxxis, SMT performance wheels, UFO, Warn, Rugged, Brannick, FK, Motive Gear, Willwood, Walker, performance air filtration, King, Baja Designs, TubeWorks, RCV, Switch Pros, and Paul Jr. Designs. His first King of the Hammers was 2013. His brother is Joe Thompson, Mr. UFO. They've teamed up and built an amazing race car. This is a twin to the Gomez cars also. There's a lot of these UFOs. Paul Wolf's driving one as well. Guess you can't quite call them twins because they all have their little differences, but...
Yeah, I think the new cars, JP and Raul's new cars are twins.
Yeah, okay.
And this will be out of the same
same
cropping.
batch, yeah. And then Paul's a little bit older, and Darian actually has his UFO here. I don't think he's supposed to race it this weekend because it's for sale. So if you want to race it, we still got one for sale.
Exactly.
You can take. We'll let him take a rear start tomorrow, right?
Yeah, if he wants to sign up.
No, not him, just anybody.
Oh,
come out of a car, right?
Yeah. He's getting a new one too, so.
Just isn't quite ready yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to buy a UFO, Gomez Brothers does have one for sale, and I do think I remember that you even get pit support from Gomez Brothers
for
at
a
the
year.
race. Yeah, for a year for the races they go to.
Yeah.
But that's worth its weight in gold also because they bring a full crew
for sure.
And Brendan Thompson making quick work out of the Brannick boulders as he hits the King Kicker.
He's done plenty of laps through there.
So one last Monster Alley to go, and we're going to bring another special guest in here. We have Austin Thompson watching your dad. How cool is this?
It's pretty cool. I think he could be on the throttle a little bit more, but
I like it. Give him a little hard time, huh? Well, this may be, he's sitting pole position with a 2:05, so he's only a couple seconds off of the fastest time of the day, so that's still a pretty good run.
Yeah.
And speaking about being on the throttle, you weren't at all. You didn't qualify. What happened?
I lost a lifter on the sight lap, actually.
Oh, no. Are you going to be able to get it fixed up and running?
Yeah, I'll take it home tonight and get it, put a lifter that's in another motor in it and get it fixed. Well,
that's pretty lucky to be local. And James Mahoney, number 308, out of Colfax, California, with Mahoney Racing taking off. And that Faravani / Get Bent Fab single-seat IFS chassis with an LS7 700 horsepower with a Turbo 400, Atlas, Yokohama, PB Electric, WFO gear and axle, trimmer wheels, and Roseville painting. His first Ultra 4 was the Fallon 250 back in 2016, and that car, I still remember the day it got debuted on the lake bed. That car was ahead of its time, and to see it still racing so strong, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, old man Faravani, man, he was
an animal.
Yeah, very much so. Mahoney actually helped build the spotter stand hand railing here, you know. So,
oh, really? Oh, yeah, over there on the spotter stand.
He's a painter, so I asked him to stain it and make it look nice. But
all he did is put nails in it.
Yeah, typical painter.
James Mahoney doing good as he drops down the PCI Gunite section. So, Brandon, what's your favorite part of the track so far out there?
I love this entire track. It's
just a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah. John and Bird do a great job building it, so everything's great about it.
And I love that it's always the same course, but it's always different because they change directions. And again, I was talking earlier that the jumps never stay, so you guys build them and have to tear them out per the state, correct?
Yeah, it's a state park, so it's open 6 days a week, and so we tear it down for liability reasons. But the course is here, so people come out here and run the flat track,
and they can run the rocks. I mean,
the rocks
have
stay,
fun.
yeah. So that way we build something new. The jumps are always different places. That we have 20 different routes we could run, but we pick and choose what we run, how to get in and out of the rocks and whatnot.
And I like it this year that coming into the rocks every time's a 180, so you don't get the full blast where they can just jump them. They actually have to run the entire rock trail.
Yeah, trying to save the cars, and then at the same time, you still got to get through them, so it's kind of happy medium.
I get that. It's James Mahoney coming around with a great time. Should be about a 2:10. He'll be very happy with that. I think Rick Levezzo's in the spotter stand for Mahoney. But still, it's Brendan Thompson with a 2:05 fastest time in the 4,400 class. But Paul Wolf in his UTV still has the fastest time of the day with a 2:03.019. And man, I think that's going to be beat. I guess 2 minutes flat earlier on the day. We'll see how that shakes out. As we have Waylon Campbell out of Gilbert, Arizona, the number 3 with Campbell Racing. And that Campbell Enterprise single-seat IFS with a proper tuning Klein LS 490 with a Hughes Turbo 400, Trailworthy Hero T-Case, Monster Energy, Nitto Tires, Fox Shocks, Warren Industries, ARB, Motive Gear, Ron Davis Radiators, Hughes Performance, House Performance, Klein Engines, Evan Weller Racing, Rugged Radios, Arizona Drive Shaft, Impact, Justice Brothers, Ibach, Factor 55, Power Tank, Baja Designs, and a few more help him get out on course.
There's more?
There's a couple more, but I ran out of breath.
I was going to take a drink for you.
He's got a lot of great companies behind him.
A lot of support.
But the Campbell Racing has been racing ever since King of the Hammers was a thing, and I remember racing with Shannon back in the XRRA days and watching Waylon.
You didn't race.
I didn't race. I was pit crew. But
your lap times last night at the go-kart track may differ, though.
Yeah, that was fun. But I just remember watching Waylon run around. I was mid-20s, I guess, and he was, 10 or so, and it was, to see him come from there and following his dad's footsteps is pretty cool. And
he's definitely using all the track. Yeah,
all of it. He is giving it all he's got. I remember the last time, it was 22, he got third position here at the Stampede.
Yeah.
And a tough break for his dad, Shannon, losing some oil pressure. I think he's in two-wheel drive. Is that front end turning?
I don't know. Got to find out now.
No, I don't think so.
Definitely not turning.
So that's why he was using all the track, like you were saying.
He was side to side. He still got a couple more turns in the rock section.
Yeah, and these rock sections, obviously you can blaze through them, but it's not easy in two-wheel drive, I'll promise that.
Especially coming out of this little incline right here, so it's a little harder to get going.
But he's putting that Monster Energy machine to work. So he'll still have a decent run. Actually, a really good run for being two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
That's going to put him in second place, I believe. Yes, Waylon Campbell in two-wheel drive with a 2:09. Only 3.5 seconds off of Brendan Thompson.
My dad left a lot on the table with that run.
I like you giving him a hard time. And up next, the number 25 of Vaughn Gittin Jr. And I believe this is Healy's two-seat car. They're building him a new car, so they got rid of it. And he is out of Concord, North Carolina with Funhaver Off-Road Team. And that Triton Engineering mid-engine two-seat IFS with Ford Performance 460 D3, a Jeff Ginter racing engine with almost 800 horsepower. He's got a Gearworks Turbo 400, an Atlas, Ford Performance, Optima batteries, RTR vehicles, Nitto, Project X, Monster, Pennzoil, Fox, MBRP, Gear Wrench, NGK, K&N, Molly, Recaro, and VP Racing Fuels. He was the Eastern Championship winner in 2018 and national champion in 2021 in the 4,500 class. And you probably see him do a lot of drifting with the RTR Mustang. So the Monster Energy athlete of Vaughn Gittin Jr. out there with a pretty smooth run as he dropped the PCI gunite. He's got a pretty good rhythm going on here, looking smooth and fast.
He's came a long way. He's an amazing drifter in the off-road stuff. I mean,
he's picked it up quick.
Dude, he's definitely becoming more of a threat every time. More seat time the faster he goes.
Yeah, seat time goes a lot for everything.
Up too. He might do it.
I think he's got it in the bag.
Yeah.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. heading towards the METALCLOAK start finish with a 155. It looks like a 156.
There's your first one.
Wow, there it is. We broke under 2 minutes with Vaughn Gittin Jr. in that pole position with a 156.623.
Looks like Lauren Healy on deck.
Team Funhaver teammate.
Here he goes.
And he is all over the throttle.
Oh, he's on the gas.
So, Lauren Healy, two-time King of the Hammers champion out of Farmington, New Mexico with Funhaver Off-Road Team. And that Triton Engineering single-seat IFS Bronco with a Ford Performance RY45 small block with 550 wheel horsepower. He's got that Fortin 5-speed sequential transmission, kind of new to our sport. Great to see him out there running that. With Ford Performance, Optima batteries, RTR vehicles, Nitto, Project X, Monster Energy, Pennzoil, Fox, MBRP, Gear Wrench, NGK, K&N, Molly, Recaro, and VP Racing Fuels.
Jumping the rollers.
He is launching it through there as he's getting ready to hit the Gomez jump. And getting some great hang time. A little nose high. Most people get the ass end in the air a little bit.
I don't think he lifts.
Lauren Healy is trying to chase down his teammates' time, Vaughn Gittin of that 156.
On the gas.
As he's heading into the Bronco boulders right there. What'd you think of those rock sections, Austin?
I've always liked those rocks. I got stuck in there on the sight lap. Kind of got a big rock stuck in between the driveline and the lower link.
Man, you had a rough sight lap, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
And how many years ago was this? I don't remember, but remember the video of him during qualifying here quite a few years ago when he did the front flips, landed it, and kept on going?
His first viral video.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Oh.
And I think we may have a new fast time. Lauren Healy all over the gas. And yes, we do. New pole setter, Lauren Healy with a 155.148. So a second and a half faster than Team Funhaver teammate Vaughn Gittin. Lauren Healy, new pole setter. Wow.
Man. Yeah, Raul Gomez taking off.
Oh, two-time King of the Hammers champion, Raul Gomez. Number 83 out of Lotus, California with Gomez Brothers Racing in that 2022 UFO single-seat machine with a Dugan's race engine with an ATO Turbo 400, UFO SCST case, Mountain F Enterprises, King Shocks, Nitto Baja Designs, and Method race wheels. He won King of the Hammers 2022 and 23. Definitely, this is his hometown track, so he is definitely one to watch. Well, all of these 4400s, this is going to be one of the best 4400 races we've had in a long time.
Yeah, there's definitely not one person you want to miss race this course.
Man, what a great stacked field as Raul Gomez heading towards the Gomez jump. And letting it all hang out. He's getting ready to drop down the PCI gunite section and just floats down it. The camera does not show it justice. That's very rough, and they just floated over.
It's like 40 foot drop.
Yeah, with nasty rocks in the middle.
With naturally sprayed gunite. I mean, it's literally what we say it is, but it's 40-foot elevation at least.
He's going to do a 180 where we've seen a couple tumbles. He'll head into the Brannick boulders. But Raul Gomez in that UFO. I did see Joe Thompson walking around earlier. He builds one amazing machine. So Raul hitting the king kicker.
The live show's so spoiled with the drone shots.
I know. Yeah, the Believe cam out there chasing these guys down. It's absolutely amazing.
Probably over here catching flies the whole time watching because everybody can see it from that angle.
Through Monster Alley. One more turn to go for Raul Gomez. This will definitely put him in third position. So number 1 is Lauren Healy. Number 2 is Vaughn Gittin Jr. And number 3, Raul Gomez. Fourth position, Brendan Thompson, Waylon Campbell, James Mahoney, Edwin Abb. And then Brandy Burke took a tumble. So we've had 8 cars, almost to the halfway point. So this is the 1177 of Mark Nicholson out of Grass Valley, California with Moves Motorsports. He's in an older Dan Trout Fishmouth Fab IFS chassis with an LSX 454 with 800 horsepower, Turbo 400, Hero T-Case, Nitto tires, Bilstein shocks, and trail-ready wheels. His first race was right here at the Stampede in 2016.
Yeah, that's Barcos' old car, actually.
Oh, I remember seeing that car at King of the Hammers when they debuted that a long time ago. And that car was ahead of its game as well.
Yep.
Wow, all right. I usually keep up pretty good with the cars, but I love it when somebody reminds me or keeps me honest.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just saw Lauren Healy double that jump, so that shows you how fast Healy was actually moving.
Mark's still getting used to that car. He's only had it for like 2 or 3 races now.
And he races Stampede quite a bit, right?
Yep. He'll come out here every year for Stampede.
Heck yeah.
He made it to one NorCal this year, I think, too. So
I think he made it to both of them.
Did he make them both?
Yeah.
Come on, John. What are you doing?
I don't know. How many races have we done since then?
1, 2, 3. Yeah,
what side of the country we were on?
Oh, man. It's been a busy year, but it's been a great year, John.
Yeah, it's been good. It's only going to get better.
Absolutely. So Mark Nicholson, you can see his hands left, right. He's got his hands full with that car.
Oh, he's seesawing in there.
So that's the car that Shannon Campbell borrowed here a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Putting the puzzle together. I remember Shannon had an issue with this car earlier, and they said, hey, this thing hasn't been touched since it pre-ran King of the Hammers, but you can have it.
A little wide there.
Yeah, he's got to back up. There are no backup points in Ultra 4.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
He rolled over right there, so he was a little worried about that corner.
He's been there and done that, huh?
Yep.
Making his way through the Brannick boulders as he heads towards the King Kicker. Again, if you're just tuning in, we thoroughly appreciate each and every one of you. This is the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede here at Prairie City SVRA. And it's been a great day at qualifying, getting everything set up. Oh, he blows that corner a little wide, too. Getting everything set up for tomorrow morning. Live racing action at 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be sure to get your schedule fixed to take the entire day off and watch Ultra 4 USA. So Mark Nicholson will be in the mid-230s. So that actually puts him just in front of Randy Burke. Because he rolled.
Yeah. I caught that.
Looks like Cade Rod, our back-to-back winner this year, has not lost a 4,400 Ultra 4 USA race yet this year.
Yeah, I know he's got one pole, right? Pole in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And second in Indiana.
He's been on fire. So number said Cade Rod out of Cortez, Colorado with Jimmy's 4x4. And that single-seat Jimmy's 4x4 IFS machine with a Mast LS, ATI transmission, SCS, Bilstein, Nitto, Vision, Rockstar Energy, BlackFi sunglasses, CBR, Simpson, Dan Wapo, Hot Sauce, L-Rods, K&N, RCV, Willwood, Holly, Adams Drive Shaft, Gearworks, Bulldog Winch, Spider Tracks, KC Highlights, Total Racing Solutions, and Justin Tents. And if you heard me say L-Rod straps, that's Bird. That's Chris L-Rod that builds all these tracks. So great to see him supporting some of his fellow racers.
Yeah, he makes an amazing strap. Most people don't correlate Bird and Chris Elrod, but that's the same person.
I didn't know his first name until about a year ago, or his real name.
Yeah.
His first name is Bird, right?
That's what I thought. I mean, 20-plus years, I didn't know his name was Chris, you know.
As K-Rod makes quick work down the PCI Gunite section.
It's like a little time to make up, but he's moving.
But this is just qualifying, getting everything set up for the prelims tomorrow morning, and then the main event tomorrow afternoon. And that main event, I'm telling you, do not miss that one.
I mean, every Stampede main event in the past has been amazing. I mean, you know, I don't think there's been a bad one here, but this one's going to be real rowdy.
Yeah, it's going to be good with the stacked field we have as he makes quick work through the Brannick boulders into the King kicker. And he is all over the throttle as he makes his way into the monster alley. K-Rod on the throttle. He has a great run going. This could be really close. Is he going to knock off Lauren Healy's 155? He does not. K-Rod moves into second position with a 156. So it's Lauren Healy, K-Rod, Vaughn Gittin Jr., Raul Gomez, and Brendan Thompson, your top 5 thus far.
That was an amazing run.
That was a great run. I hear our current king. That is Mr. J.P. Gomez out of Cameron Park, California, with Gomez Brothers Racing. In that 2022 UFO single-seat machine with a Dugan's engine, ATO Turbo 400, UFO SCST case, Mountain F Enterprises, King Shocks, Nitto Method, and Baja Designs. Again, he won King of the Hammers just a few months ago, and he started from the back of the pack and passed almost every single car and won King of the Hammers. JP Gomez is super fast on this course also. Gets crossed up and one way, the other way. Almost saved it. So he'll have to come from the back once again. What a tough break for JP. Gets a little squirrely, tries saving it backwards, forwards, and takes a little tumble.
Yeah, you know that's right in front of the Gomez tree, ironically. So
yeah, he almost made the Gomez tree.
They've been upside down in that creek bed in the ride a couple times.
Well, I'm sure the Gomez pits will have a little razzing going on tonight.
Yeah. The tough break there.
So JP will get him righted, but it was a very soft turn. I'm sure that UFO is going to be just fine. But it sounds like we got a replay, so we'll see what exactly happened to JP. Just comes off a little sideways, back and forth, and I mean, he was almost. He had the perfect steering angle. And, man, he was calling. Right, left, and just flopped her over nice and easy. Almost saved it.
Man.
Looks like it's Brett Harrell who's patiently awaiting.
What do we got left? We got Harrell,
Marcos, Philip McGilton, Paul Horschel, and then Paul Wolf. So we still have some very heavy hitters. Are they going to be able to knock out Lauren Healy's fast time of the day with that 1:55.148? Man, what a great day of qualifying it has been. We started practicing this morning and then went straight into qualifying, and it's been a great day so far, John.
Yeah, it's a pretty chill Friday. You know, it's good. The track's holding together, so we got 5 cars left, 6 cars left. And then it's full prep.
Yeah, it's going to be busy.
Full prep tonight.
And lots of water getting laid down.
Yeah. We've never had 4 water trucks in all the history of any race I've ever put on here.
I don't think so, yeah.
I wanted to, to have the best track we can provide.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you're going above and beyond. And during practice, it was a little dusty, even with all those trucks. So we're doing absolutely everything we can.
Yeah, anything over 90 degrees out here, you're battling the whole time.
And it sounds like driver is fine. Yeah, it's been a busy day on the PCI race radios, but everything's coming together. So Austin, it's been busy, but you said you lost a lifter. You're going to go home. take a lifter out of a used engine, rebuild yours, and just make it happen?
I have a freshly rebuilt LS3 sitting at the house that has the same lifters in it. So I'll take them out of that, and I'll put it in the car and get it ready to race tomorrow.
That's awesome. There's a great shot of Spectator Hill. Still lots of room. Obviously, today's just qualifying. That place will be jammed up tomorrow.
You won't be able to see through there tomorrow.
So you're just switching a lifter, not necessarily anything else, correct? So it's not too hard.
Yeah, that's the plan anyway. Sometimes that doesn't end up happening.
Yeah, but it's just a lifter, and then you open it up, it's like, but anyways, hopefully it's just a lifter. But that's pretty cool. You're going to go take that off. But, oh, man, here comes Brett Harrell, hot off the line, heading out for his qualifying run. The number 4456 out of Almsville, Oregon, with the team change order in that Paul Horschel single-seat IFS machine, with a Danzio LS7 with a Gearworks Turbo 400, Wiseman T-Case, Nitto tires, trail-ready wheels, TubeWorks, Fox, Max tie-downs, Obstacle, Warn, Brett Schmidt Trucking. His first King of the Hammers race was 2020. He's won a few races, including the Nationals in 2022, and he got second place this year at King of the Hammers. So we saw his son Brent running earlier. This is Brett Harrell running strong as he's hitting the Gomez jump, gets a little bit of hang time there. And speaking about hang time, Hangtown is just right next door. Lots of great history with that.
Oh, yeah, we're racing in the parking lot for Hangtown, actually. Yeah, it was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's got a lot of history. And obviously, John, you're local here, so you've probably been there a few times to see some of the classics.
Yeah, this year was actually the 55th annual. Yeah, we actually print all the graphics for them, their signs and banners and whatnot, so we do quite a bit of work with those guys.
As Brett Harrell coming in hot and heavy into the Brannick boulders. Takes that right line. That was fun talking to Baylor a little bit about getting his strategy on where to go, but these rocks keep moving.
Yeah, there's some loose ones in there, and there's some definitely dug-in ones.
And Brett Harrell is leaving it all on the line, getting a little crossed up there
over
the king kicker.
Told me earlier today he was trying to set it up so he could jump sideways.
Yeah, well, he just did.
I told him it wasn't a dirt bike.
Well, Brett's heading into the monster alley. Oh, kisses the K-rail a little bit, but didn't slow him down much. This is going to be a top 5 run for sure. Brett Harrell is all over the throttle, hitting the METALCLOAK start-finish, and moves into 5th position with a 2:02.480. Great run for Brett Harrell. Looks like Marcos Gomez is up next. I don't see Cody Addington yet. I'm surprised by that. Anybody hear anything from him?
Actually.
Or Ken Goodall. Darian Gomez is not racing. Got him on my maybe list.
I believe Goodall got towed in earlier today. I'm not really sure
I missed that.
What the end result was there.
We were talking to him, and it sounded like he lost an input shaft on his transmission.
Hate to hear that. And off the line next, hitting the METALCLOAK gap jump, is Marcos Gomez, number 86, out of Lotus, California, with Gomez Brothers Racing. He's in that UFO with IFS and IRS, in a single-seat UFO machine with Borello horsepower, ATO Turbo 400, UFO SCST case, King, Nitto, Sparco, Spider Tracks, RCV, FK, and Method race wheels. So he keeps talking about solid axle, IFS, and IRS. Why don't you take the lead on that? Explain the difference.
Oh, me?
Yeah, somebody.
Oh, I just build tracks, man.
All right, awesome.
IFS is, it's independent front end. IRS is independent rear end, and straight axle is just a live axle front end rear.
Kind of like in a standard Jeep or an old school truck.
Exactly.
But the IRS is not all that common, so it's great to see. Great to see this thing. It was a work of art when Joe Thompson debuted this one. It's pretty impressive, and through the rocks, it works amazing.
We call it the Spider for a reason.
Yeah. And Marcos, I love walking through the Gomez pits. Their laugh you can hear across the parking lot, and they are here to have fun. This is their home track. Watch out for each and every Gomez.
They come here to win. That's everyone comes here to win, but this is their family fun, and the internal battle in the family is very intense.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love talking about being the King of the Hammers champion with Raul. And now JP gets to walk in the Monday morning meetings and say, hey, what's up?
I still don't think he gets that. I think we're all letting them do that. I don't think that's fine.
Oh, they canceled Monday meetings.
I think so. It's Tuesday now.
So Marco's hitting the king kicker with a pretty good run under his belt.
All right. It's super cool up here and warm and amazing, but I'm going to make Pam finish out her day.
All right. Well, John, always a pleasure. And again, thank you for everything you do for Ultra 4 USA. I'm having a blast, and I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah, like I tell one of the drivers, I'm here until you guys get rid of me or, you find someone better. So here we are. We're going to do what we do.
Absolutely. Well, John, always a pleasure, and we'll see you tonight, buddy.
Yep. Thanks, buddy.
Yep.
I can say.
Well, Austin, it's been a great day. We just saw Marcos Gomez throw down a 2:03.642. And off the line now is the number 47 of Philip McGilton out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. With 47 Motorsports and that 4th-gen Campbell chassis. Just picked that up from Brian Croft, single-seat IFS, Schofield Performance LSX 454, Hughes Turbo 400, Hero T-Case, Southern Tire Mart, Pilot, and Flying J. Great to see those companies jump on board with Ultra 4. BFG, Vivid Lumen Lights, and Radflow. His first Ultra 4 race was King of the Hammers 2016. He used to race ARCA with the Craftsman Truck Series with NASCAR and everything, so it's great to see him out here playing. He won the Pennsylvania race last year, so I suspect to see good things coming out of Philip McGill as he hits the Gomez jump. Well, Pam, we gave you a little bit of a break. Did you have a little bit of fun out there?
I didn't have a break. I was out there taking pictures. The rocks are gnarly out there standing by the fence. No, JP, I thought he was going to have my...
Oh, he was smoking fast.
Well, yeah, I was down there taking pictures of him when he took off, and I was like, he's going to have my 152 time.
Yeah, well, my two flat got beat, but we're still in the back ballpark.
I'm still closer than you. That's all that matters right now. My time.
Without going over.
Without going over. I'm over.
Yeah, so
no.
Price of Rice.
I did say my secondary was 155 and 157. So, but no. Who do we got out right now?
Philip McGilton out there just hit the king kicker.
Philip McGilton, he's doing really good in this car so far this year, having fun in it.
And I was just asking where Cody Addington is. He just strolled on up, so not sure if he was having issues or laying back and kind of playing possum a little bit. So it looks like we have 3 more cars to go as we see Philip McGilton grab the checker flag at the METALCLOAK start finish.
All right, so Philip McGilton in that number 4 spot with a 2-minute. There's your 2-minute.
There's a great run by Philip McGilton.
Yep. 2-minute, .257.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We have 3 cars yet to go for the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede.
All right, so Austin, you're up here in the booth. We're going to talk about Paul Horschel here really quick.
So Paul Horschel, number 19 out of Park City, Utah, with Horschel Motorsports. And that Horschel-built single-seat IFS Ford Bronco with a Danzio P620 big block with 1,150 horsepower with a Turbo 400 Atlas, TubeWorks, Nitto, Trail-Ready, Fox Live Valve, alloy drilling, Warn, TMR, Obstacle, RCV, Sparco, PCI, and JE Real drive shafts. Paul Horschel's definitely one to watch, don't you think, Austin?
Oh, yeah, he definitely is. I've watched him growing up my entire life, so it's definitely awesome to be out here racing with all these guys.
Yeah, he is an absolute genius until he puts his helmet down. Then he turns into an animal. This guy builds one amazing machine, and I can't wait to see what happens this week here at the Stampede.
And what you just said, you put your helmet on. It's like I always call it the brain bucket. You put it on, and everything's out the window of everything. It's just all about going fast and getting that number 1 time. But Paul Horschel's doing an amazing job so far out there, going down the PCI Gunite section. But, Austin, I know you probably already went through it with what happened with you, why you didn't qualify. But here you are up here. Going to go home and get it all ready, get back out here tomorrow.
Yep, I'll be back out here tomorrow ready to go. It's more fun starting in the back anyway. So.
I like your style.
Teaches you to drive a little harder, right? Because you're pushing it and teaches you to pass.
100%.
John Boy's tuned in. He's bet me that Paul runs a 150 flat. That's going to be hard to beat. We'll see. as he heads through the Brannick boulders.
I mean, Paul Horschel's on right now. We'll see where he's at. And then we got Wolf and Addington. Is it the last of our cars for the day?
That's what it's looking like. And then we'll pause for 5 minutes. And if nobody comes out, qualifying is cold.
Okay.
As Paul Horschel with a huge horsepower big block. Ford Performance under the hood. Looks like that 150 mark, John, just got clipped, so you owe me one now. And the left wheel is hanging up there, giving it all he's got. And the METALCLOAK flag is flying for Paul Horschel.
They've got 4th position at a 158.467.
Bumped out Philip McGilton by 2 seconds. So let's go through the top 5. We have Lauren Healy, Cade Rod, Von Gittin Jr., Paul Horschel, and Philip McGilton are our top 5 for the 4,400 qualifying. And here we go with the 1018 of Paul Wolf, once again out of Alton, Illinois, with Wolf Racing in that UFO single-seat IFS machine with an LSX 434, ATO 4L80E, SCST case, Hickman Motorsports, Nitto, Raceline, Alltech, Radflow, VP Racing, Willwood, Project X, FK, JB Scale Graphics, Rugged, CBR, Holly Performance, and First Form. His first 4,400 race was at Moab, where he won that race. He's won a lot. Paul Wolf is an up-and-comer in Ultra 4 the last few years, and definitely one to watch with the Mario Kart, I call it. I love it.
I love the story behind that, but that's so funny. It makes me think of the movie Toy Story. You know, it looks just like the one out of that movie. He should do this whole scheme from it.
I love it.
No, didn't his daughter like this rap, and that's why they ended up going with this? Yeah.
It's last year they did a JB Scales Graphics did a new rap every single race, and when it came to that one, that was her favorite, so they stuck with it.
Nice.
And speaking about his daughter, her birthday is October 18th. So 1018, that's where he kind of rebranded a couple years ago. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, when he went into the 4,400 class, the number that he would have originally wanted was taken. Oh, he did a nice little slide out right there.
Oh, yeah, slide job right there and put it right on into the Brannick boulders. And John is saying Paul Wolf is a 150 flat, so we still got a
John Boy.
John Boy's guessing, so we'll see.
I'm guessing Paul Wolf's a 152. I think he's going to have my number.
Great run.
Oh,
it's going to be close.
Where's he at right now? 143. I'm saying 152.
Man, Paul Wolf is probably going to be our new pole setter, I think. It's going to be close.
Did he get my number?
It is Paul Wolf with a 152.335, shaved almost 2 seconds off of Lauren Healy. Paul Wolf with an amazing run. Pam, you called it 152, fastest time of the day. So far, we still have Cody Addington.
And that was the number I chose at the beginning of the day, too.
You did good.
I'm super stoked right now because usually you beat me by a long shot.
Hey, everybody gets lucky every once in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Cody will have a pretty fast lap right now, too.
This is, again, one of his home tracks as well. So number 888, Cody Addington out of Forest Hill, California with ADD Racing. And the Jimmy's Orange Dragon, a single-seat IFS with Schofield LSX 441, Gearworks Turbo 400, Atlas, Nitto Tires, Vision, King, Lasernut, Power Steering Solutions, Schofield Performance, Willwood, PCI, Custom Splice, OCD Graphics, Yukon, WFO, Gear and Axle. I remember the first time I remember him was back in 2012 in the black Toyota and the EMC. He did that. He finished. He started the 4,400 race in that car. Didn't quite finish, but it just that's when I fell in love with Cody Addington and his just grit. And he's been a contender ever since. He started in the stock class, has moved us all the way up to 4,400, and has built a real name for himself. Definitely a fan favorite.
Yes, he is. Now, Austin, let's ask you, what do you think that his time's going to be?
I think he's going to be right there with a
Wolf
153 probably.
Oh, man.
Like
all right.
I like these little side talks because we're not actually betting. It's illegal.
That was last night at the Red Hawk Casino.
Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness.
So Cody Addington out there with ADD Racing with a great run, number 888. That's Lauren Healy's old car. That car may be one of the most winningest chassis in Ultra 4 history. I'm sure there's somebody that's going to say, oh, my car's one more. But regardless, one of the winningest chassis in Ultra 4. Cody Addington's driving it as we speak. I remember when Lauren Healy debuted that car, I think he won the first 3 or 4 races straight in it.
Yeah, I remember that too. That was a while ago.
It's been a bit, yeah. That car's, Jimmy's builds an amazing machine to see it being still competitive so long as Addington makes his way through Monster Alley. So it looks like he's going to be a little off on time, but it's still a great run. He'll still be top 7, 8, I'm going to guess.
Maybe I need to go to Red Hawk tonight. Just keep on my lucky streak.
So Cody Addington moves down to 11th spot with a 2:06. So let's run down our top 10. And that first position is Paul Wolf with a 152.335.
In the second position, Lauren Healy.
Then Cade Rod.
And then fourth position is Vaughn Gittin Jr.
In that fifth position, the 19 of Paul Herschel with a 158.467.
And sixth, Philip McGilton.
In that seventh spot, Raul Gomez with a 2:01.
All right, in that eighth position, the 44.56 of Brett Harrell with a 2:02.480.
And ninth, Marcos Gomez.
And wrapping up the top 10 was your dad, Brendan Thompson, with a 2:05.652. So you're going to tell him to get a little more on the throttle tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, he definitely could have been on the throttle in a few spots.
So again, we got to wait about 5 more minutes before we close qualifying. If we have any late entries, we will appeal to them if they were having issues working on it. But I'm pretty sure this is probably going to wrap up qualifying, but we'll just kind of stick around for a little wait and see.
All right, and tomorrow you want to make sure that you are on the Ultra 4 USA YouTube, because we will be live starting first thing in the morning here, but you also
at 7:30 a.m. PST.
And you can also still watch at the live.ultra4racing.com for all of the times as well, for the laps and everything that you need to see.
Yeah, it's been a great day of qualifying. Thank you again for everybody for tuning in to the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede here at the Prairie City SVRA in Rancho Cordova, California. It's been fun. It's been hot. It's still about 95 degrees.
It's a little warm out here, but you know what? After we figure out if we have anybody else coming, late timers, if not, we will be getting to call it a day for ourselves so we can all get reset, rehydrated for tomorrow, because it's going to be a long day and it's going to be a hot day.
We got to get the course rehydrated as well.
That is so true. Great way of putting that.
Yeah, it's been an amazing day, but it's just getting started. Tomorrow morning, we kick off at 7:30 a.m., and we will be live racing for probably right around 12 hours. It's going to be an amazing day of racing, so be sure to tune in off and on or make it a day. You know, we saw a lot of people tuned in all over the world checking everything out. Yeah, I know the Rufus team was at Bender's watching it. I saw it. I think they had it live at Red Hawk Casino as well. So get a hold of your local bars. Have them put it on the YouTube channel and check out Ultra 4 USA Racing. It's going to be a wonderful day. Austin, best of luck for you. I'll let you hop out of here and go work on your car, because I know you got a long night ahead of you. But thanks for jumping in the booth, and best of luck tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, Miles. Hopefully it's not too long tonight. I want to sleep a little bit before tomorrow.
I get that. That makes 2 of us. So, again, thanks for everything, and best of luck, buddy.
All right, Miles, look at that great view right there. All of our pits, all of our...
Look how perfectly they're parked. Everybody came in, just stuck to their guns, and did some great stuff.
Had some parking, parking instructions as well.
Oh, it's been a great weekend out here, and we jammed everybody in here best we can. And again, for spectating, if you're anywhere in the Sacramento area, tomorrow is the going to be a great run. And I can't wait to see it started. Sorry I dropped out a little bit. Pam got a little excited and unplugged the wrong cord on us and unplugged my mic. But, hey, that's all right. We'll let you slide.
Just trying to pack up here just a little bit, get ready for leaving for the day.
But again, thanks to the entire production team. Take It Live's done an amazing job, and we are just getting started. Man, it's been a great weekend, and I love it out here at the Stampede. It's going to be a great showing, and we'll try to sprinkle in some guests off and on tomorrow. Bring some of our, we'll get Mattson up here in the booth for a little bit, bring in some other racers. So, again, if you're out there in the pits and you're hearing it, if you're having a good day or even a bad day, come on up and have a little chat with us. I'm sure your fans would love to hear it from you. Well, again, we're live for 12 hours, so I wouldn't mind a break or two.
Yeah, I think we'll possibly have Mr. Cook up here as well.
Rob Cook, I talked to him. I said, please come up a few times. So he's the one that announces most of the NORCAL rock racing. And been fun catching up with him a little bit. He was here. He did have to dive out a little bit early today, but he will be here tomorrow, I believe. So we'll be able to have some fun with him as well. And look at the water trucks. They're out there dumping and pumping.
Got to get that all watered down for us tomorrow. Make sure we're all pristine shape for these racers.
Next up for Ultra 4 USA is Vegas to Reno, August 14th through the 17th for the second Western Series race, teamed up with Best in the Desert. And then we'll wrap it all up for the Nationals at the Crossbar Ranch in Davis, Oklahoma, October 18th through the 19th. And that's going to be a great race. I always say they're my favorite track. They're all my favorite tracks. There hadn't been too many we've been to that I don't have a great time at. Again, thanks to all of our marketing partners, this coverage of Ultra 4 USA for the METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede is presented by METALCLOAK and is brought to you by our official sponsors, Brannick, PCI, NORCAL Rock Racing, and by METALCLOAK.
All right, all of our water trucks out there doing what they're doing like we were talking about, and getting the course all nice and wet for us for tomorrow. They'll be watering first thing in the morning as well. We can see our recovery crew is heading out for the day as well. Our pits are full, lots of parking out there that we had to finagle, but it is great looking out there. But here we do have tomorrow, again, like Miles was saying, we are starting first thing in the morning at 7:30 a.m. We'll be starting with our UTV stock prelim, and then we will have our 4,500, 4,600 prelim, UTV Open, our 4,800 prelim 1, 4,800 prelim 2, our UTV Pro Mod prelim, our Youth 1000, and then we will be going into our LCQ and our prelims for our 4,400 classes as well. So it's been a great day out here, again, as we keep saying. But they're out there watering down the track like we see on the screen as well. And Miles, here we are. It's been a fun day. You're getting some confirmations here really quick. But out here in Prairie City for the METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede, it's been an awesome day. It's a warm day. Lots of racers out here having a blast watching the other racers as well as I was walking through during qualifying. And as you can see right there on the screen, that is what we call that finger section, that once they take off the start and they make the right-hand turn, that is what they turn into. And there is that little rhythm section as well. So it's a little testy section right in that area. And then that's when they turn into the right section back into where Gomez Tree is. It's going to be an amazing day of racing tomorrow. Our 4,800 class has 20 cars that will be out on course, and then our 4,400s with 19 of them out as well. It's a great car count out here this weekend, and we are having a blast. The racers, again, are having a blast. Miles, what's going on?
I've had such a great day, but qualifying is officially over, so we will be back live tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. So, again, thank you for everybody tuning in. It's been a wonderful day. Again, I'm Miles Hasquist alongside Mrs. Pam Hall. I absolutely love the live show and bringing you guys the best action that we can. Our Ultra 4 USA racers put on one heck of a show.
Yes, they do. And, again, if you guys know of anybody that lives in this area, and you can't personally come, but you have people that live in this area, you should definitely tell them. It's going to be such a great day out there. I mean, if you do tell them, make sure you bring waters and shade. But I wouldn't want to miss it. If I lived in this area, I would be here.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. So, again, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This has been the 2024 METALCLOAK NORCAL Stampede. It is qualifying here at the Prairie City SVRA. From the entire broadcast crew here at Ultra 4 USA, I am Miles Hasquist alongside Mrs. Pam Hall. And we will see you in the morning, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.